Wow. How is it that I'm just sitting here and then I get sidetracked and then forget to turn the freaking show on? How's it going? Good to see you. It's Order 42. I'm Rob. And look at this. We got Ricky, we got Bonobo Juice, we got Moi and Noir. Welcome. Yeah. How's it going, guys? You having a happy Merica day? Look, here's the thing. There's a writer strike going on, which means there's very little movie news going on right now. Which is a bummer. Okay? It's just a bummer. But also I'm out on Diablo 4. I'm out. I'm done. So yeah, you could have kept listening to that track. Okay, well, here. We'll just turn this back on. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Why is that not working? Boy, that transition's going really fast. Wonder why it's doing that. I wonder if it's... There it is. That's better. Look at that. Yeah, but it's like a instead of a, you know what I mean? It's better. It's better now. And I think it's because I was messing with stuff earlier, and I think I changed it for some reason. Did I get water? I think I do. I did, because I'm a smart man. I'm smart. So how are you guys doing? I feel like this is going to be this. I hate it when I don't have like a bunch of topics to talk about, or, I don't like it. I don't like it. I like having things to talk about. I just don't have a lot. I got this in the mail. We were talking about this. I think it was me and Ricky talking about this, and it was $4.99 on iTunes, and I said, but I want the special features. So I bought the Blu-ray. It was $7.99. So I bought the Blu-ray, and it took forever to get here. It didn't take forever. That's hyperbole, and I have tried to bring that down. No more, no, not so much hyperbole. Okay. Never again, I could say, but that's not true. I'm sure I'll do it again at some point. That would be hyperbole. So anyway, all I'm trying to say is I got the Blu-ray. Got a Blu-ray. And then I got another Blu-ray coming tomorrow, I think. And it's one we've been talking about over the last couple of weeks. French Connection. I went ahead and bought it. So anyway, let's see. I guess, you know what? Since you guys are here, I'll just go ahead and show you this. Okay. This is, yep. Guess what? I didn't set it up. That's the one, man. I don't understand that. I don't understand why it doesn't just keep it set up. I guess it's just because I like my stuff clean and I close windows. Maybe that's it. But anyway, bam. The Fort Worth Indie Film Showcase. Now, I want to show you this. The official selections for the Fort Worth Indie Film Showcase. Bam. Adventures in Game Chasing has been selected. There you go. It's been selected. Now, here's something even cooler. Is it in here? There you go. Nominations. So, best feature, best comedy, adventures in game chasing. I mean, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I mean, it's pretty cool. But it gets better. The Fest Best. So, best overall, adventures in game chasing. Now, look, here's the thing. I get that the Fort Worth Indie Film Showcase may not be on the level of Sundance or Cannes or anything like that, but it's cool to not just be selected, but it's cool to be in the running for best comedy and best overall feature. I think that's pretty damn cool. I think that's pretty cool. So, here's the deal. It's July. We knew we were selected a while back. But we didn't know, I mean, I didn't know any of that. I didn't know how that was going to work. But apparently next Thursday is when the movie will be shown, and you actually have to buy tickets to it, but it's very limited, so I don't even know. I don't know a whole lot of details. But then Saturday night, after everything is done playing, because it starts on Thursday through Friday, and then all the shorts, I believe, are on Saturday, or all the short films and documentaries and stuff is on Saturday. After all that's done, then there's the award ceremony at approximately 8 p.m. on Saturday. So that means, I mean, we're in for a chance. We're in for a chance. And I think that's really cool. I think that's really cool. And for Billy, his first directorial effort, I'd say that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how that goes. So that's the thing. And Bucho is here. Everybody, Bucho is here. There he is. In the same stance as always. Welcome, Bucho, on this amazing America's birthday. July 4th. Yeah. What? 247 years old? Yeah. There you go. There you go. So yeah, that's a thing. Let's see. Moi and Noir has been drinking. All right. Drinking my pineapple soda. I don't think, wait a minute, pineapple soda. I think I have had pineapple soda before. That sounds pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'll just say it. But yeah. And the mother effing hizzy. That's right. That's right. Bucha, I was actually thinking about going over some of your ideas from probably months ago at this point. But some of the stuff where, like, best movie performances by people not known for acting. It's interesting. That's an interesting question, or an interesting idea. Best movie performances by people not known for acting. So I would assume something like, I mean, like The Rock, I guess, would be a good starting point, but now he's probably better known as an actor than he was as a wrestler at this point. I mean, wouldn't you say? So then you kind of have to branch out. Well, Bucho, I mean, hey, calm down. It's a weird one though, because you've got people like, I mean, what's her face? Right? I mean, that's a good point. I'm going blank on her name. House of Gucci. And she's going to be in Joker. Yeah, Ronda Rousey. Probably not the best actor. Just saying. Cher, that's a good one. Lady Gaga, right? I would probably say at this point, Lady Gaga has got maybe one of the better. Well, I mean, look, she was up for best actress, right? For A Star Is Born, but did Cher win for Moonstruck? Cher would actually be probably, I mean, probably the best one, right? She would be number one because she actually won an Academy Award. Yeah, won one Oscar. She won for Moonstruck. So, would she be the best movie performance by someone who's not really known for acting? Barbara Streisand? I don't know about Barbara. The Barbs, Babs, the the Streisand sphere. I don't know. Rhonda isn't good at all in acting, but her fight scenes are good since she actually knows how. True, but then you'd probably look at Cara Dune. What's her face? I can't remember her name. The Streismeister. uh, but yeah, that would. I mean, Cara Delevingne. Well, I mean, yeah, she was. Mia Jovovich was started out as a model, so she was probably better known as a model at one point. I would say now she's better known as an actor. But Andre the Giant in Princess Bride, that's a good one. That's a good one. I still it's a weird thing though, that because I mean if you say best movie performance, then I would probably say, well, I mean Cher won an Academy Award, so that'd probably be her. So Charlize Theron. I'm confused. I'm confused, Ricky. Did she, oh, were you saying that Ruby Rose and Charlize Theron both were models to start? Oh, Charlize can fight. Oh, well, yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. All right. But this isn't best fighting performance. No, it's not. It's not Ricky. So I would probably I mean, look, I'm gonna say Cher. Because I can't think of anybody better than that. That's like the answer, right? You came in late after I was first, so I don't know what we were talking about. Well, Ricky, get with the program, man. Get with the program. It's best movie performances by people not known for acting. So like that would have been interesting. I mean, take Cher out of the equation, okay? Take her out because she won an Oscar. That's probably just the answer. But like I was saying, Dwayne Johnson, before he became a megastar, would probably be someone that would be in that conversation as far as at least somebody to consider. I mean, even, whether you think he's a good actor or not. Whitney Houston, great. That's a good one. That's a good one. In fact, David Bowie. Huh? David Bowie. Labyrinth, The Hunger, The Prestige. And he was supposed to play Jared Leto's role in Blade Runner 2049. So there you go. There's another one. Gosh, even Mick Jagger was in Free Jack, wasn't he? When you're thinking of stuff like that, it kind of gets interesting. It really does get interesting. I'm trying to think of other sports stars. O.J. Simpson. Yeah. Play Free Jack, dude. See, I've never even seen that movie. I haven't seen that movie. That's Emilio Estevez, right? Never saw it. Isn't that the one with Anthony Hopkins. I think it's playing in the background during True Romance, Free Jack, if I'm not mistaken. And it always like, because it was like Emilio Estevez with like wind blowing in his face, and then it's Anthony Hopkins with wind blowing in his face, and it's like, what the hell is that? But I'm pretty sure that's Free Jack. Anyway, I don't know. It's an interesting question. Yeah, Hopkins and Estevez. Phil, welcome, welcome. And look, I apologize. It's actually I don't apologize. I had nothing to do with it. It's July 4th, which means, like I said in the description, in a couple hours there are going to be people setting off fireworks in my neighborhood. I know it's going to happen, and that'll be happening all over America. People just breaking the law. Rob, you're no fun. No, I'm old. I'm old, and I worry that we've been in a drought, and I don't want somebody's stupid, stupid firework landing on my house and set my house on fire. That's what I worry about. And plus, they go way too late. Come on, 1 a.m. Seriously, you're setting off fireworks? Come on. I will say this. Wait a minute. Keith as oh yeah, I forgot about Keith. Yep. But again, that's now you're getting into, it's not best movie performance, but I guess you'd say favorite movie performance by someone. If you did it that way, then yeah, you could play with all that stuff. Carbonite, welcome. Good to see you. But yeah, I loved Keith Richards in that very brief little thing. I mean, it was very, very cool. Water the lawn. I mean, yeah. It's been happening since Friday here. People have turned Independence Day into when people say it's my birthday week. Oh, I know. That's my wife. Birthday week. For sure. When it's her birthday, it's the whole week. It's just a crazy celebration all week long. It's a thing. But yeah, it started, I've heard one or two, but nothing like it's going to be tonight. Like I'm curious if we're going to be able to hear it, because I've got the little filters on, where it's supposed to basically anything beyond my voice, it's supposed to cut it out. I mean, it even takes out me freaking vaping sometimes. So yeah, I'm going to be interested to hear or to see, I guess, because I can't really hear it because I don't know how to do that. I mean, I could do that, but I'm not gonna. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me check my audio here, because okay, my audio is good. Let's switch over to this device. So then when anything plays on my computer, you guys will be able to hear it. Because guess what? Since there's not a whole lot of topics, we might be listening to some Switched On tonight. That's just the way it's going to go. Meatloaf, great. Ricky, absolutely. He actually put in some pretty damn good performances. Not just in Fight Club, but in other movies. He was actually pretty entertaining. That's a great one. That is a great one. I started watching something very random. The original MacGyver. I found the DVD box set I thought I lost. That's what's fun about doing my whole, it's all on the shelf thing, is I'm finding movies that I completely forgot about. Just completely. I mean, I'm looking through and I'm like, wow. The other thing I've been doing is I've been slowly but surely taking movies off that I've already done that I know I have like other versions. Like, for example, I did Top Gun. Well, I think I have the Blu-ray and the 4K. There's no reason to have all of them represented on the shelf, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm slowly but surely getting some of those off, and there's quite a stack going there, So that'll be interesting. But there's still, I would say 3.5 boxes to go. I'm gonna have to pick and choose what goes on the shelf, at some point. But anyway. You were surprised at his acting too. Yeah, he's really, really good. Really good. I mean, wait a minute. Uh, hold on. Who was I thinking just now? Because there have been some fighters who have come over too, like UFC fighters. Like, I mean, look, Donald Cerrone has been in some stuff, not great stuff, mostly like direct to streaming kind of stuff. Of course, Rainy Couture. Rainy Couture was in the Expendables movies and some other, again, direct to video type stuff. Um, but yeah, I would wear an Order 42, it's on the shelf t shirt. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm writing that down because that's actually a really fun idea. And here's the thing. This is something that that April and I are toying with. We haven't gotten there yet. We're still doing some testing. Um, she's been off for the last 3 days, so we've been doing some sort of crafty stuff a little bit. But we've been talking about this. That what we might be able to do is do some like two order shirts. So for example, if you say I want, like, this shirt is blue, right? It's not black, it's blue. Okay? Like that's black. This is blue. You can't even tell. Okay, maybe Pulp Fiction. Can you see that? Yeah. Black, this is blue. This is a dark blue. So if we bought dark blue shirts and we say I want a dark blue shirt with this color logo, we should be able to do that. We're also looking at because here's the thing. There's a Hobby Lobby right down the road. And we can get our shirts there, and then we'd have the things printed, all that kind of stuff. Gina Carano is the one. Yes, Bucho. Yes. Yes. But no, she's a terrible, terrible actor. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you like Cara Dune, the 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 role of Cara Dune, I totally get it. I thought she was cool too. But when all that stuff started happening, I was like, yeah, I don't care. It doesn't matter that much. She was limited in that show because of her acting ability. Okay? Let's all be honest. Oh, well, it didn't make sense for the story. No, I guarantee you they were looking at making her a bigger role. Turns out she's not great, so they limited her roles or her time in that show. That's just the way it is. I mean, for crying out loud, that first movie that she did with Steven Soderbergh, they had to dub her. So, yeah. Bisping's done a bunch of B movie roles too. I've never seen Bisping in a thing. That's interesting. Hang on, I just remembered. Did you build Rivendell? No. In fact, we still have the AT-AT. We still have the Blockade Runner, the Tantive, Rivendell, and the Lighthouse. So 4 Lego sets that we are still in, and it's the reason that we're doing this, or the reason that we haven't made any progress, is because when April's not working, she's doing crafty stuff. And she's been doing a lot of crafty stuff lately. Building stuff like wood, and like she's gotten into woodworking and stuff like that. She's been busy with her stuff, and we do that thing together. So no, we haven't built it yet. But thank you for reminding me how I really want to get back to Legoing. I love to Lego, but yeah. Haven't seen much of Gina Carano except in a Fast movie. Yeah, I did watch, because I was actually a fan of her as a fighter. So I was interested to see, oh yeah, can she make this transition? And I saw that first movie. I can't remember the name of it, but that first movie, and I was like, ooh, wow. Yeah. So there you go. You're sorry, Rob, but get on it. I know. I know. I know. I need to get on it. But hey. And hey, just look, some of you came in a little late, which is no big deal. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not blaming anybody. But I just do want I do want to bring this up. I'm gonna go through this real quick one more time. The Fort Worth Indie Film Showcase. Official selections. If I could highlight it. There, bam, Adventures in Game Chasing is an official selection. Now we, of course, that's a local thing, right? But not only were we selected, but under features, we're nominated for Best Comedy Feature. And not only that, Best overall nominated for Best Overall Feature. So, selected and nominated for 2 awards. I think that's pretty damn cool. So, there you go. I'm just saying. If you guys missed that, I thought it was cool. I want to just keep bringing that up because it's a cool thing. So, here's the I was going to say the viewing, which makes it sound like it's dead. That's not what I meant. The screening. The screening of the movie is next Thursday night. We get 2 film passes or filmmaker passes. So my guess is that Billy and Jay will go. I may go ahead and buy a ticket to go with them. Okay. Then on Saturday is the award ceremony. And that starts at 8 p.m. and you can't buy tickets for that. So my guess is both Billy and Jay will go to that. We will play this by ear and figure out what we're going to do. It just kind of sucks because it'd be cool if they did win for me to be able to film it. You know, it would be cool, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And again, this is not Sundance. This isn't Cannes. This isn't anything that's like a super huge deal, but it's cool to be selected. It's cool to have the potential to win an award. Billy, I would be very, very proud of Billy for doing that for his first feature. And of course, there's also the chance that there's some networking that can happen while we're there. Who knows what happens? We will see. We will see. So yeah. By the way, Game Chasers podcast started that you helped film. Great stuff. Phil, it's my pleasure. And it's something that we've all been talking about, but I've been pushing for it. And now we're in a good place. And I think we've got the equipment that's going to make this thing happen and make this thing start rolling. Of course, got to get that microphone thing sorted out. So that's a thing. But yeah, it's really cool. And the way that it works, dude, I had no idea that this even existed, but it's super freaking cool. So, for you guys that are tech heads, okay? So when you're recording, okay, you've got one video stream coming in, and then you switch, like here, I switch over to this, and this is it's literally just taking this other thing and putting it here. And with OBS, I've got my camera feed right here coming in right there. And it's just a separate it's like a source, okay? And I can have multiple sources. Like when I play a video game, that video game is being broadcasted in. So it's basically sorting out 2 feeds, right? And you've got many, many YouTubers and streamers that do the whole thing, the multi-camera setup and all that stuff, okay? But here's what happens with that unit that Billy has. You can put in 4 different video streams and it will record all of them simultaneously. All of them. And what's cool is, like, for example, like, just imagine that this is like another angle. Okay? So this person's talking and then they stop talking and the other person starts talking. So you switch over to that, right? Well, what's cool is, like, if this happens all the time, one person will start a sentence and then the other person will finish the sentence and then the other person will go back to talking. So then I'm switching back and forth, but I really should have just stayed on that one person. What Billy can do is it actually makes a timeline of it so he can modify the camera transitions. It records all 4 simultaneously onto a one of those SSD hard drives. I think that's so freaking cool. Like, I want one. I have no use for it, but I think that's awesome. To be able to have four separate camera feeds that are recorded simultaneously, that's amazing. That's so freaking cool. So, what that means is that eventually we'll get to the point where we'll have that set up. Now, what would be cool is if you could, oh, I don't know, get a camera feed on me and a microphone on me too. So, like, if they say something and I start laughing, or if they ask me a question because they want me to look something up, i.e., or not i.e., but kind of like, Jamie on the Rogan show, I can put the camera on me for a second. We don't have the feeds for that. I'm sure that would get a lot more expensive. But for a start, I think it was great, and I think that there's a lot of content that I hope you guys are going to enjoy, because there's multiple things that we did. So, we'll see how it all goes. Yeah. So there you go. I see nothing but good things on that podcast. They could have different guests and just generally shoot the shit. It works. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what's fun about it. That's what's fun about a hangout versus, like an actual interview or anything like that. When you're just hanging out and you just let the conversation happen, it can lead to some real fun, funny, interesting stuff. And it does. It already has. But you haven't seen it yet. So there's more to come. And we're going to be getting together. We're going to be getting together and doing this more often, and I just hope that people have the patience to let us get our groove, and all that stuff. I will be on a future one. More than just being behind the scenes, but we'll see how it all goes. Of course, you know me, man. I can talk. That's the thing that I'm gonna have to back off, because I mean, I can talk. I can talk for hours. Um, so we'll see how it goes, but it'll be really, really fun. We'll have different people coming in. Um, you name it, we've talked about it. Okay, so if you've got ideas, yes. The biggest problem right now is a name. The Chodcast it's funny, but they've already used that and it's already gone away. And we also, there's a lot of things that you kind of have to keep in mind for a name. Yeah, you could go, I just came up with a name. Um, and I don't want to say it. Um, Four guys, one mic. That's good. I like that one. Uh, I really like that. Four guy. Well, here's the thing. All the funny stuff that's come along across. I mean, think about the entirety of Game Chasers, right? Think about all the funny little sayings and all that stuff. That's great. The problem is you can't you don't just want to play to those people. You want it to be a name that can mean something to them and can be fun, but can also be something that is like, "Oh, what is this?" You know? Um so yeah, the backstroke of the West. Toby, welcome. But yeah, but yeah, that's an interesting thing. That's what we're kind of thinking about and all that stuff. But look, I just I'm not good with names. I mean, look at mine. I mean, right. It'll come to you in the shower. Oh, I'm sure. Well, I just came up with an idea. I don't know if they're gonna like it, but um, I get you want people to watch who aren't already fans. Well, I mean, that's the whole point, right? It's it's something that whatever we call it, the people that are already fans of the Game Chasers, they're going to watch it. They're just going to watch it. But if we can get some more people in there and hopefully, get some traction, then we can move on and do more things. And that's kind of the thought process that Billy's been having. And I mean, it's something that I've been pushing for because I think that those guys deserve to be million subs. I don't understand why. I mean, I get it. I get why their video releases aren't exactly consistent because of all kinds of factors, right? But that's the one thing that would help them is consistency. So it's a thing. It's something that I think will really put them on the map. And the other thing too is, I mean, let's just be honest with you. Okay. Retro gaming isn't exactly the draw that it used to be. I mean, a lot of the big YouTube guys that were big with that stuff, they've either gone on to other things or they've modified their current way. Now that doesn't mean at all that they want to stop what they're doing. But what it means is that they don't want to be limited to just that. They want to be able to do some of these other things. And I think it's a great idea. And they're definitely funny enough to make it happen. I mean, I'm telling you, I had a great time the other day when we were doing this. It was really, really fun. And yeah, it's just coming up with a schedule for us to get together and do it. Essentially, the channel needs to grow more. Yeah. And I mean, if we could have some consistency there, then yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I think needs to happen is that we need to get the audio situation remedied. I mean, that is definitely an issue. But once that happens, you put the videos on YouTube, put the audios on your podcast feeds and all that kind of stuff, get all that stuff set up. And man, let's just see what happens. And you'll get to a point where it's an automatic thing. Once you figure it all out and get it all set up, I mean, putting podcasts out is nothing, So I'm talking about audio podcasts. And it's just one of those things, it can happen. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. 5 to 10 years ago, retro gaming stuff drew a lot, and it's just kind of going now. Yeah, but the thing is, it's when you go over to some other channels, you'll see the same people because we're all kind of subscribed to the same people, And the thing is I don't, and again, I'm not trying to say that retro gaming is dead and I think they should move on from it. Far from it. Far from it. If that was the case, I wouldn't go filming for them. Okay. But I think that branching out a little bit and doing some stuff on top of what they're already doing, it could be a thing. And we'll see. We shall see. Do you think you will talk current events or politics, or is it too divisive? Yeah, I don't think they're going to go there. Because here's the thing. We all have our views. Okay? I try to keep those views away from this channel, And we tried to do, even back in 2005 when we were doing Switched On, it was a thing where it was like, yeah, we need to kind of stay away from that stuff. Because what happens is one of us will go on a rampage and it'll just be a thing where one person is talking and the other two are just kind of sitting there looking at them. And then you don't want it to become a thing where people are getting upset, all that sort of thing. It's better to just keep out of that. Now, I think for the most part, we have some ideas that are like, I think if you watch their live streams, you kind of know where they sit. I sit on, I'm a little more moderate than they are. I'll just say it. I'm I'm more liberal than they are. Um, but I'm also, there are certain things where I'm like, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. But that's the thing. That's what I've always hated about politics is that no matter what side of the aisle you sit on, there's going to be something that you go, I don't know if I agree with that. Really? You're punching baby goats in the face? I don't like that. Stop that. Otherwise, you guys are pretty cool, but what? That's an extreme example. But all I'm trying to say is there's gonna be ways that I'm pulled either way. And then on top of that, I don't like being labeled with anything. You wanna know where I stand on an issue? Ask me. I'll tell you. Trust me, I'll tell you. But I don't want your idea of who I am based on this label so that you already have it in your head that, oh, that's what this person is and that's how this person stands. No, screw that. I don't agree with it. I've never agreed with it. And I just don't take part in that. But if you want to know what I think on an issue, I'll tell you. You know, that's the way it should work. But it's just like Twitter these days, right? Twitter, you go in there and you talk about this thing and you say this statement. But the problem is the whole subject has nuance that can't be, talked about or it can't be defined in 140 characters. Or unless you subscribe to Twitter Blue and then you can get however many. All I'm trying to say is I stay out of that. And I think those guys try to stay out of it too. But there are certain issues that, man, hot button issues, they will talk about it. But I don't think that's what they want their podcast to be. And I think it's a smart thing because think about it. That whole idea, especially here in America, I feel like these hot button issues have divided people more than anything. And then it's bled over into other things. Like, for example, Star Wars. If you talk about The Last Jedi, you're going to have issues because somebody's either going to call you, oh, yeah, you're this snowflake, blah, 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 or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's like there are so many things in the world. If you really stop and think about it, stop and think about from the time that we are born and we start to make our own memories, right? And we start to remember things and you're already being categorized and put in this little box. And that's not the way to live your life. Because if you continue to see yourself as only this thing that the world has categorized for you, and I'm talking about, it could be race, sex, sexual orientation, could be who you fancy, right? It could be who you sit on the aisle with, Republicans, Democrats, blah, blah, blah. All of those things they're meant to separate us when we should be concentrating on the things that we're alike, right? I'm getting into a political conversation. I didn't mean to. But what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, I don't agree with doing that. And it's annoying that this just continues to be a thing. And certain political figures have made it their goal to continue these divides. And I hate that. I hate that. When I see it, it makes me angry. And it makes me say, I'm not playing this game. Because, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, let's keep it light. I think that's basically my rant for the day. I think that's where they're going to keep it. They're going to keep things on the lighter side. I'm sure things are going to crop in. Just see, that's the thing. It's like, you can't even really talk. It's part of the reason why Star Wars has been something where I don't even want to talk about it, because you got people say, well then, oh, blah, blah, blah. The other night on Billy's channel, I was in there and I was having a pretty good time. And then all of a sudden, all of this woke talk, anti-woke talk about Indy 5. Indiana Jones 5. And I'm like, have you even seen the movie? That has nothing to do with the problems with that movie. Nothing. You heard this from some YouTuber and now you're just parroting the stuff. And I'm like, I don't, you know what? I got other things to do. I don't want to, this Saturday night, it's time to relax. I don't want to be angry. So I'm leaving. So I left. I left the chat. And it's one of those things where it's like, I just don't get it, man. I don't understand how people are so, and it's a, like I said, it's a thing that's been, we've been conditioned for this over the last however many years. We've been conditioned to automatically have an opinion and then automatically hate the opposition. That's not the way the debate works. It's just not. God, I'm going on rants and I don't mean to be. I apologize. Holy crap. Holy crap. Sorry. But Phil, I saw earlier that you saw Indiana Jones 5 and you were like, yeah, it was pretty good. That's the thing. It's okay to just be in the middle and say, yeah, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen and it wasn't the best thing I've ever seen. But you know what? I had a good time. That should be enough. But I just don't understand it. When it comes to movies, I do understand when people get angry when a movie doesn't work. Hold on a second. I think it's a great name. Means something. Hold on. Anyway, sorry. But yeah. So yeah, Indiana Jones 5 is pretty good. Anyway, it's not woke. So if you're seeing people saying that, those are people that haven't seen it yet. Because I don't see what would be woke with that. Oh my God, there's a woman in the movie. Okay. You want just sausage fest? Okay. Anyway. Dude, you guys got me going early today. Correct on retro gaming, rich person's game. Old collecting channels are mostly flexing videos and reseller channels now. Sad. It is sad, but I'll tell you what. The one that I'm really enjoying, and I've been looking kind of as a critical person, right? I'm really enjoying the Phoenix Resale. Really enjoying his channel. I think it's mainly because I think he's such a good dude. And I think that he's an interesting person. Now, that's part of the problem though, and if you really think about it, resellers. But I don't know. I'm still enjoying the videos so far, but I get exactly what you're saying. And yeah, Ricky, too divisive. That's the thing, man. We need to be focused on that. Like, I don't understand it. It's a theory that I've had since I was much younger and back in my philosophy days. But I said one of the first examples that I could think of about being divisive and people dividing, like, oh, no, it's us versus them, right? Is when you're in school. Like my sister was in high school, right? And she went to South Grand Prairie High School. And at the end of the football season, the South Grand Prairie played Grand Prairie High School. So basically North Grand Prairie, although it was just called Grand Prairie because there was no North when Grand Prairie High School was made. So it's just Grand Prairie High School versus South Grand Prairie, right? I remember I went to, because my sister was in the drill team, right? So every now and then we would go to like pep rallies and stuff, rah, 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 fight, go fight, win, blah, blah, blah. Football, right? Texas takes his football seriously. Well, they brought out the mascot and was like beating it with stuff. It was basically a big piñata, but it was still one of those things where I was like, okay. And what's funny is the whole time we're all like, rah, rah, yeah, fight, oh, kill them, blah, blah, blah. And then that weekend, so Friday night, we're enemies. And then on Sunday, the Dallas Cowboys would play. And guess what? Now we're all on the same side again. And it just confused the hell out of me. I'm like, don't we hate them? We hate them, don't we? No, it's Dallas Cowboys. It's okay. But we hate them, right? No, we don't hate them. And I'm like, but I don't understand. I'm getting mixed signals here. I don't get it. Why are we so angry at them on one night and friends with them?
$10 hairs.
Star Fox. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. But that's just one example where it was like, holy crap, why is it we're constantly finding ways to divide ourselves from others? Instead of, hey man, you like hot dogs? Yeah, man, I really like hot dogs. Come on, man, come on over. We're having a cookout. We're making some chili dogs. You like chili dogs? Hell yeah, I do. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go. Come on over. Instead of trying to find ways to divide each other. But anyway, I'm a dreamer. And I think that no matter what the difference is, we can find common ground. And we should be focused on that. But anyway. Aside from Independence Day, what is a favorite Merica day for you? I would say Contact with Jodie Foster. Top choice. Contact. Dude, Contact is one of my favorite movies. Seriously. Contact is one of my favorite movies. I don't know if that's a Merica movie. It's more of a yay science movie. And I just did on the Getting on the Shelf with the Cosmos. I love Carl Sagan. Carl Sagan's my guru. Love it. So yeah, absolutely. Unsub from 8-Bit Eric when he changes his videos up. It's just not my thing. It's not my thing. And I don't like, there's enough negativity in the world. And yeah, there's some things that I've seen that I go, yeah, boy, that sucks. That really sucks. I hate that. But you know what? I don't pay attention to it. Making a video on it, I would have to spend time focusing on that. And I don't want to do that. Life is too short to be focused on that negativity so much. So, yeah. I mean, I saw videos all weekend saying Indy is a flop and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, guys. Yes, no, there's many problems with the movie industry right now. Budgets, length. The length of movies is way too high. The budgets are too high. It's an IP that people know about. Let's throw $300 million. That movie was almost $300 million to make. Are you kidding me? An Indiana Jones movie? Why? Why was it so expensive? It's ridiculous. So that puts so much pressure on everybody to try to make the best movie. So they try to cram it full of stuff. The movie's about 20 minutes, in my opinion. Could probably have about 20 minutes shaved off of it. I think it's the longest Indiana Jones movie yet. And it started to it got me thinking. The whole industry right now has got this bloat problem. Too many huge budget movies, and the movies are just way too long. Guess what? If your movies are shorter, you can fit in more show times over the days, and guess what? You have the potential to make more money that way. I don't know. Man, I'm in a ranty mood, guys. Merica. Anyway. I'm less liberal, but there's things I agree with on that side. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I lean liberal on some things, but then I lean more conservative on others. It just depends on the situation, and that's why I can't say that I'm one or the other. And again, repeatedly, I look at who we have to choose from for president, and I go, There's how many people in this country, and these they're the people, huh? Okay. Wow. Okay. Anyway, as long as the person doesn't try to convert me or any of that. Yeah, see, and that's it. So yeah, it's what do you call it? What do you call it? Politics and religion. Stay out of it. I try to stay out of it. You know, if somebody wants to ask me, sure, I'll tell you. But you know what? If you believe in God, Buddha, Muhammad, whatever, great. But I'm over here doing my thing. So, there you go. Anyway, uh, wait, man, I'm way behind, guys. I'm sorry. Uh, the Ultimate Merica movie, Battle LA, where USA saves the planet from an invading alien force, is essentially a giant advert for the US Army. Yeah, that wasn't a great one. Of course, Independence Day, you know, that's the one that everybody freaking brings up. I mean, it was a fun movie at the time, and it was groundbreaking. But now it's kind of like this is very meh. At the time, I loved it. But, and you guys are saying on some things, you're saying you agree. I have no idea what you're agreeing with. Just because I went on a thing and I got tunnel vision. I'm going to ask point blank, what's your stance on crop dusting in public libraries and shopping aisles? Microphone feedback. I'll tell you what. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. But I'm one of those that I don't take pride in it. You know? I don't sit there and just try to gauge reactions like some people we might know. Indy 5 is bad for a multitude of reasons. Bad acting, bad editing, terrible writing. I mean, acting? I don't know. I don't know. There are problems. There are problems in Indy 5 for sure. CG? Anyone? I'm just saying. I said it in my review. At what point do you just go, why isn't this just animated? Because he's not doing any of the stunts anyway. Who cares? He's 80 years old. Really? He's going to jump from tuk tuk to tuk tuk? I don't think so. Just do it animated. It's the same reason why I think one of the reasons why I enjoyed Across the Spider-Verse so much is because we weren't limited. We weren't limited. We were limited to someone's imagination. And it was amazing. It was great. So I said, at what point do we just say, shouldn't all of these comic book movies just be animated? And it got me on the whole DC animated movies kick, which, guess what? They're great. They're fun. They're really, really fun. I'm really glad I got that amazing deal on iTunes where they mispriced that collection and I got it for $8. 30 movies for $8. Are you kidding? Now, I mean, they're not like full length. But guess what? I'm enjoying the hell out of them. They're like an hour and 15 minutes. Great. Great. I'm going to be controversial and say Temple of Doom is the best indie. You know what? If you said that and you really meant it, I'd be fine with it because you know what? There's a lot to enjoy in that movie. There is a lot of problems. There are some problems. You know, I'm trying to look at it objectively, right? But subjectively, I enjoy the hell out of that movie. I do. I really, really enjoy it. I love how dark it is. I love one of my favorite scenes in the entire Indiana Jones series is when it's after Indy, spoiler alert, after Indy wakes up from the Collie's madness, right? And he turns around and he we got to get out of here. And he turns around and he goes, yeah, all of us. And then this kid's getting whipped and he falls on the ground and he looks up and Indy's just standing there and the camera pans up. It's one of my favorite moments in the entirety of Indiana Jones is in that movie. And I think the bug scene is awesome. I think the spiky thing is awesome. I just love that movie. The freaking gotta, gotta, shake it up. Boom, boom. Come on, man. Get pumped up. And then suddenly, guys holding a heart. I'm sorry, it's awesome. It's awesome. And part of it is because, like I said, I was 8 years old when that movie came out. And I'm sitting there going, I'm watching an Indiana Jones movie, and I feel like I shouldn't be watching this. It feels dangerous. I love that shit. So yeah. National Treasure is the best indie movie. You know what? That's a good one too. I enjoy both of those. First one's better, but I enjoy both of those a lot. Too many rant, unsubscribe. Sorry. I hear podcasts are one of the fastest growing things on YouTube. Yeah. He's a good person, but does not care about games, just profit, but each of their own, and good luck to him. Yeah, I mean, look, that's the thing. It's a weird quandary, you know, when I look at Phoenix Resale, because he doesn't really care about that. He's just, okay, I'm going to buy this game so I can, because I know I can make a profit on it. It's the way of the world, though, you know? I mean, Chief is one of my favorite people that I've met since getting to work on Adventures in Game Chasing. And that's exactly what he does. You know? That's exactly what he does. And I love watching him work. He's great. And he's a hell of a salesperson. He's just an awesome guy, you know? And I guess maybe that's it, is that I met these guys when they weren't doing that. You know, I met Chief. That's how I met Chief, was on set. I met Phoenix Resale. I didn't know who he was. I met him at one of these conventions, and we got to talking, and I was just like, this guy's cool, you know? So it's a weird thing. Those videos of those foreign people rebuilding batteries sure are interesting. Not sure. Wraith, welcome. I'm sorry I went on rant. And you know what happens. Tunnel vision. Sorry. Football, right? Yeah. Biologically, since we don't fight for resources or saber-toothed tigers, we got to fight about something. I know, but it's just... We're supposed to be more advanced at this point, right? We're supposed to evolve past that lizard brain crap, right? I don't know. Yeah, Ricky, the hot dog in the pants. You like hot dogs? Oh, yeah, man. Well, check this wiener out. Yummy. I love Contact, though. Yes. Most of my feed on YouTube is video games, Project Farm, and restoration stuff. Yeah. It's... Look, I get it. But... Yeah. I don't know. Where did I... Man, I'm way behind. Some people y'all are gonna be putting in timestamps. Rant on, I'm listening. Sorry. Love Project Farm since I use so many of these tools and like how he tests so many of them, so I know which ones I'd rather buy. I ranted too much. Now I need to drink. By the way, Rob was late because I rewatched episode 1 of Reacher, decided to start it again. This will be the 5th time. Such a great show. I believe Alan Richards' son could hurt someone. I think that dude's awesome. I enjoyed that show. I really did. I mean, it's very... I mean, let's just be honest. It's not deep, okay? But it's entertaining. That's good. Dude, you know those all-in-one Mac computers with the huge monitor? My friend got one that was kind of slow and locked, so I erased the SSD and reinstalled the OS completely, and it works perfect. He only paid $200 for it. I have one. That's what we're streaming on right now. Is an iMac. That's pretty sweet. The best Merica movie is Team America. Oh man. America. Yeah. I don't want to yell woohoo while yeah, no. No. Yeah. Rainy Quaid. Yeah, look, I liked Indy. You know, is it perfect? No. But I had a good time. So but that yeah, you're right. That is a hell of a deal. What's your favorite DC animated movie so far? It's probably got to be Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. It's still my favorite. Um, I'm at. I just finished Batman Year One. Like, but it's like this, you know. Some of them are really good. Like I loved Year One. I liked Wonder Woman, the Wonder Woman movie. I liked that one a lot. Um, the Green Lantern, the last one, Emerald Knights. That one was really good. I didn't think I was gonna enjoy it. I really enjoyed that one. So yeah, yeah. There, there, there's so many good ones. And I'm gonna keep going. Like once I run out of my movies, I'm gonna go to HBO Max and I want to get like completely caught up. That's how good they are. So I'd say that's a good one. Starting at Superman Doomsday, I'm 18 movies in. Just watched Flashpoint Paradox. Very good, like the comic. Yeah, I'm not there yet, but Carbonite, I'm right there with you. Well, I mean, I haven't gotten to that one yet, but I'm on this journey with you. Temple of Doom is the only one I've seen. Oh, of the indie movies? Really? Wow. Raiders is the best, in my opinion. Uh, the heart scene scared me as a kid, but I went back and watched it a couple of years ago. It's, see, that was one of those things where that's one of those scenes that scared me, but then it immediately made me think, okay, how did they do that? Oh, and I watched a movie last night that is not on anyone's list, probably, but there were multiple moments where I was like, what? And I had to back it up because it was made in 1948. That's right, 75 years ago. And it was the Red Shoes, and it's the Criterion Collection and all that kind of stuff. Um, but I kept seeing it on people's lists of favorite Criterion movies, because the sale's going on right now. By the way, there's a sale going on right now at Barnes and Noble. If you want to buy Criterion movies, they're half off. And that includes some of those big sets. So you want Zatoichi, it's on sale right now. And all of those. Look, there's Rashomon and the Samurai Trilogy and Hidden Fortress and Yojimbo Sanjiro and Seven Samurai, and there's Police Story 1 and 2, right? Yeah. I mean, dude, I got a lot of Criterion. I love Criterion. They're on sale right now, half off. So anyway, so I started watching Red Shoes because I was like, I keep hearing about this movie. I've never seen it. I'm serious. There are moments where I'm like, I have no idea how they did that. Because they didn't have the technology that we have today. A guy walks up and then a different person it's like within I don't know how they did some of that stuff. And it was actually a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, there you go. I don't but yeah, my whole point was the heart scene scared the hell out of me. And I wanted to know how they did it. And then one of the most horrifying shots right there is when the camera is from the point of view of the lava and the guy is dropping and screaming as the flames go through him, and as he's on fire he's still screaming. I mean, as a kid, holy crap, man. But guess what, it's just a puppet basically, and miniature whatever, but it looks amazing. And that's the kind of stuff that movie making magic. I love that stuff. So of course that's what I wanted to find out how they did it. 8 years old, I was wanting to find out how they did it. And then when I finally got to see Aliens and Alien, I wanted to know how they did all that. Scared the hell out of me. Now, how did you do that? I love that stuff. The Fast movies, people rip on them all the time, but I absolutely love them since they entertain me. And Ricky, that's all I give those movies a lot of crap. Okay. But I'm all for you being a fan of it. If you want to be a fan of it, do it. It's literally the same as blonde versus brunette. Who am I to judge? You guys pick. I'll take the redhead. No, because redheads are crazy. I'm just kidding. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. That's not true. It can't be true. If that's true, then all redheads would be like, they would conquer the world. But they haven't. Have they? Not that I know of. This is a weird show, guys. This is a weird freaking show. Yeah, keep those fast movies. Keep the wife happy, happy wife, happy life. I like them for that. Hey, there you go. Single life, no wife for me. It's a weird thing. It's, in a lot of ways, people, I think, in general, we want what we haven't got. You know, it's like there are times when I'm like, man, I wish I had a little bit more freedom to just, I want to put a big booby lady on my wallpaper. Why can't I do that? That's number one. Come on. I'm too old for that. Number two, yeah, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing. I don't know. Dude, this is the weirdest show. I guarantee you this is the weirdest stream I've ever done. On this channel. Switched on, that's a different story. I wouldn't mind an indie reboot with all practical effects and like John Wick style fights choreography. Yeah. In fact, you should do that across the board. Everybody in Hollywood, go back to practical. Now there are certain things where CG is the only way to do it. Like, for example, the bike jump that Tom Cruise does in the upcoming Mission Impossible. Guess what? There's CG there. What is it? It's the ramp. They made it look rocky and covered in grass and forest and stuff. But he's on a freaking ramp. That's fine. Do that. But this stuff where, we're going to make an all CG why? We're going to de-age this. Just recast. Keep it in your head like, hey, it's the 1960s. How would we do it? Because that's how you get interesting stuff, is when people are limited. This whole, we'll just fix it in post. No, you won't. Stop it. Stop it. Just do the thing. Do the thing and do it right the first time. Oh, well, this doesn't make any sense. Why would we want to see Harrison Ford's 80 years old. He can't do those stunts. Then figure out a different way to do it. Figure out a different way to do it. Maybe he's driving and she's doing stuff. And you've got a stunt person or whatever. But don't freaking all this CG crap. Come on, man. Anyway, that was at 8:04, 10 minutes ago. I'm 10 minutes behind. That Reacher actor needs to be in a comic book movie. I mean, does he? I mean, I get what you're saying, but yeah. Return of the Joker is probably tied as my favorite. Okay, that's a good one. Alan Richardson is just the perfect Reacher due to stacked and perfectly embodies what Reacher should be. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think he's great. And he's a pretty good actor too. Not Gary. Welcome. And I apologize for not seeing you earlier. I went on a rant and I got way behind. I'm sorry. Area 51 Wraith, so pick an artifact. Oh, I wonder what else is in the warehouse where all the artifacts Indian obtained. And there are people that don't like that ending. As a kid, it made my brain go, like, what the hell else is in there? Holy crap. I loved it. I love that kind of stuff. And that's the problem. People just want shit spelled out for them. The best part is when we go, okay, I don't know what happened there, but what do you think it was? That's how you get people wanting to watch the movie, is you don't spell things out for them. I loved it. I love the way Raiders ended. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful ending. I don't know. That movie is so damn good. Man, every time I think about my favorite, there's some of my favorite scenes, but favorite shots, single shots where I'm just like, that is genius, man. That is genius. I love that stuff. And yes, Ricky, Red Shoes the musical. It was really good. Now, is it going to be a movie that I want to buy? Maybe not, but I kind of want to know how it's done because I'm here in 2023, 75 years later, and I can't figure out how some of those things were shot. I kind of want to see if some of that stuff is on the Blu-ray because holy crap. Holy crap. It was interesting. When that cage thing goes into the lava, how does it survive? LOL, it's metal, must be magic metal in Temple of Doom. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. See, I'd never thought that before until just now. But yeah, you're right. It should be like completely. I'm trying this strawberry, just regular flavor I have. It's just kind of meh. Yeah, and that's the problem, right? A lot of those liquids, like Naked makes some interesting stuff. But yeah, some of their stuff is very just one note. And that gets, yeah, some people might love that. Like for the longest time, all I vaped was like vanilla. I like just vanilla stuff. And then I was like, well, I kind of want some strawberry vanilla stuff. And then, oh, let's put some strawberry banana vanilla. And then, oh, let's put some chocolate on that or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like but it's a thing. And you also have to think is that there's a lot of people out there who are trying vaping for the first time. And when you hit them with like this one right here, Pistachio Delight or whatever it's called, this is a deep flavor. It's got pistachio. You know the ice cream video? You know where the hints of vanilla, cream? And no, it's sorry, I'll stop doing that. But yeah, there's definitely a cream element, but there's pistachio, but there's something else like a hazelnut kind of flavor. So it's like a deeper nut flavor, not nut, but you know, like almond or something or hazelnut. It's freaking awesome. Awesome stuff. And then this one is that tastes burnt actually. There we go. This one sits for too long, I think. But yeah. There's another t-shirt. Stop it, just do the right thing and come on, man. Yeah, it's like yeah. My guess the government recovered the video of the art being opened and decided it was too dangerous, hence why it was put away. Well, yeah, I mean, he probably gave his deposition, and at that point they were like, "Yeah, we need to put this in a closet and forget about it." And there's too much of that stuff, too much of that stuff that the government got a hold of, and they just said, just box it up and put it in the closet. Oh, the closet's a warehouse now. Okay, we'll put it in the warehouse. I think that's cool. Another t-shirt idea, a deeper nut flavor. Yeah. What's up, Rob and chat peeps? Oscar Perez, welcome. You missed it. You missed it earlier. I went on a rant. And it was a little scary actually. But yeah. It was fun. Every now and then sometimes you need to clear the air. It's kind of like they say that I say they. I could be wrong about this, but it's like you get in the car and you drive sensibly, right? But every now and then you need to open it up a little bit. You need to open it up a little bit and blow out all the crap that's in the system. Just gun it a little bit and just get it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a horse. You put a horse behind, dragging a thing, carriage. After a while, that horse just gets lazy. Sometimes you need to open it up a little bit, right? I don't know what my point was. Oh, that's like me ranting. Every now and then I need to go on that. Cuz here's the thing. If I had my way, I would like to do a philosophy podcast where I talk about a different philosophy thing and I debate with another person, you know? Or maybe not debate, but maybe just have a discussion with another person or whatever. The problem is I don't know anybody that, number one, has the time, number two, wants to do it. So, there you go. But I think that would be a great thing because there was a podcast that we used to listen to back in the day. We were part of a network, you know. I mean, you see that, you know, some YouTubers are in a network of stuff, you know, Screenwave or whatever. Um, we were in this network, and the show was called Skepticality, and I love that show. And they had different, they would interview different people and ask them like really deep questions, and it was like man, I feel like I'm getting smarter just listening to this, and that's what I like. I like that kind of stuff. So Rob is opening a vape store with a bunch of flavors. Baskin Robbins 42. Dude, I really vaping Robbie's 42. Yeah. I would love it. I would love to open a vape shop. But man, it's scary right now. I mean, for if you were going to sell stuff in the US right now, you know. But yeah, how do you open up a horse with a sharp object? I meant you need to let that horse run. You know, you need to force that horse to run. You know, open it up a little bit. It's just like, you know, in a car. You know, you need to open it up a little bit. You know, just I don't know. You're on a side street, nobody's around. Just go ahead and gun it, floor it. Get that car working. I don't know if I could be completely full of crap about that. But you better believe I do that from time to time because it's fun and I enjoy it. But I'm very careful. I don't do it when there's people around, and I do it in a way that I know my car. Speaking of horses, how did that old SOS phrase go again? You can lead a horse to water, but he won't. Maybe we'll find that one here in a bit. Planet of the Vapes. That's already I've already seen that. Planet of the Vapes. It's a great name. There's also Darth Vapor. I've seen that. Like VAPOR. I mean, it could be VAPER. But yeah, I've seen a ton of great vape shop names. Um, yeah. What was there's a Darth Vapor by me, and Planet of the Vapes is it's there's actually a UK shop called Planet of the Vapes. And actually, I don't think it's a shop anymore. It's it's basically a kind of it looks like a news and guides, which is that's neat. We don't see those in America much anymore. Like here's a beginner's guide to vaping, and then guide to batteries, 8 questions about CBD, guides about rebuildables, mechanical mods, battery guides. Dude, this is awesome. Man, God, I almost want to make that a link. You know, if somebody says, "Hey, you got questions about vaping? Here, go there." Wait, I can't do that, can I? Well, they don't sell anything, at least not that I can see. Because that's the whole thing. YouTube hates the links and stuff. But yeah, Planet of the Vapes, interesting. I did burnouts all the time in my Camaro. Well, that's one of those things where I don't know about burning out. Just lessens the life of your tires, but you giving your engine Got to burn the built up carbon in the engine. True stuff. Gun it occasionally. Oscar, thank you, because I didn't know. John Vape Wick. That's a good one. Knights of Old, happy 4th. Welcome, sir. Good to see you. Good to see you. And you're gonna hate me. I haven't gone back to the Babylon Berlin yet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm terrible. But I haven't. The coffee shop. Well, you don't want people. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. When you vape, you don't cough as much. You don't vape. You don't cough nearly as much. The only time you cough is when you because what it will do is it will make it where if you breathe in like after you're done vaping, it'll and sometimes you breathe that in and it makes you cough. That's the only time I cough. It's basically when I get too much spit. Anyway. My engine was ready to go. I had a backup for it, but it never died on me, and I ended up selling it because somebody kept bugging me about it for like 3 months. Are you talking about your Camaro? Have you watched the new Witcher yet? I watched the first episode, was like, hey, that's pretty good, and haven't gone back yet. I do want to watch it though. I did finish Silo. And I will say that if you have Apple TV Plus, because it's a weird thing where I don't know what show would be worth signing up for a streaming service for, you know? But $4.99 a month isn't bad. I would say, yeah, it's worth checking out Apple TV Plus because Silo is good. Is really good. You got Rebecca Ferguson, you got Tim Robbins, you got and yeah, from what I hear, Ted Lasso is really good too. I haven't seen that one yet. That's another one. I think Bucho was trying to get me to watch that one. And I think it was Bucho and Leon trying to get me to watch Succession on HBO. And I finally watched that. And guess what? Loved it. Amazing. Amazing show. So, yeah. Apple Hijack. Is that one of those kind of things? Because I don't. Man. Water's making me gassy. I haven't seen Ted Lasso. I didn't have Apple TV till this week. Oh, okay. Okay. Then who was it? It was probably one of you guys, you know? Probably going to watch Severance first. Severance is a good one too. Gassy vapors. There's been a lot of good ones. Steam Island is a good, I think that's a cool name. That's also a UK. I like the ones that aren't direct, you know, Darth Vapor is a little on the nose, you know, and probably against copyright. But some of those other names are kind of cool. See Poker Face yet? No. I've heard of it. That's a David Fincher thing, right? But where is that on? What is that on? I think I looked for it and thought, oh, I want to see that. And then was like, oh, it's on. Excuse me. Okay. Is that Natasha Leon? Oh, it's on Peacock. Yeah. We don't have Peacock. So that's why. That's why I haven't seen Poker Face yet. Oh, also on Apple, Hijack. Yes. Idris Elba coming back from Dubai to London on a plane. Plane gets hijacked. Episodic TV series. Yes. Is that out yet? Because that looks good. That looks really good. And dude, Idris Elba, man, I'm telling you, that dude could play just about anything. And I'm in. I'm like so into watching Idris Elba work. That guy, I don't know. He's just got so much charisma. I love that guy. I think he's great. Charisma, not gravitas, by the way. In the UK, it's out. Really? Uh, uh, will this just open up in my. Oh, oh. Is it. How long has it been out? I see 4 episodes. When like KA 29, blah 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 blah. Yep. Okay. Well, I'll have to put that on the list. He plays a great Knuckles. I still haven't seen either one of the Sonic movies. I was never that into Sonic. You know? I don't know. I never liked the gameplay of Sonic. Lasso is a must. Okay. Okay. Man, I see, and that's part of the other reason why I haven't been like I tried Diablo. I took 2 days off Diablo. And then yesterday I said, "Okay, I still can't beat this thing. I'm going to respec and just see if it doesn't work, I'm done." Got up that the one that I was playing last week. In fact, I think. Anyway, started playing it, immediately killed him. And I was like, "Okay. Okay, now we're on to something. Okay, cool." I actually felt powerful and I actually felt like I was doing damage. And then I went to the next area, immediately killed. And I was like, "Okay, maybe I just need to learn the okay, no, I'm dead again. Screw this. Okay, bye. I'm done with that game. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but Diablo 4 is not traditional Diablo. Because again, you no matter where you go, you're fighting monsters that are on your level. It never used to be that way. And I'm sorry, I never had to play the game like Elden Ring, where I've got to learn all these patterns and do all this stuff. No, that's not Diablo to me. It's Diablo mixed with Elden Ring. I don't want to play that. So I guess I'm done with the game until they do something to make it not suck. For me. And maybe they won't. Maybe I'm just done with Diablo. Because it's just not for me anymore. But I'm like, screw that game. Seriously, it made me so angry that I'm like, I can't believe I've wasted. I think I've only played the game for like 40 hours. But I can't believe I wasted my money on it. Because I bought the big bad crazy $100 whatever the hell. Because I was like, dude, I played Diablo 3. I played Diablo 3 on multiple systems, many, many hours. I probably have 600-700 hours in Diablo 3 on all these different systems. It irritates me so bad because it's not the game that I thought it was going to be. So, and hey, if you like it, go for it, but no, I can't. It's not a game for me. They changed the gameplay enough that it's just not for me anymore, which is a bummer. Get the action replay out, Rob. What's that? I'm not on the level. I don't know what that means. But basically all I'm trying to say is yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. But it's like after Tears of the Kingdom and after playing however many hours I've played Diablo 4, action replay is a cheating device. Oh. And it's great. Oh, okay. A cheat device for the old systems. Oh, okay. See, I think Game Genie, you know? Maybe it's just yeah. But yeah, I would rather at this point, I feel like I've played enough games for a while. Now I want to get back to watch it's why I watch the Red Shoes and it's why I've been reading a lot. And I'm like, yeah, I'm getting enjoyment out of this. You know? I'm just when you're sitting there getting mad, I just don't find that fun. So I'm just like, okay, I'm done for a while. I beat Tears of the Kingdom. I found like all the costumes, costumes, outfits, whatever. So yeah, we said old systems, Rob, not ancient. Hey, that's 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 my history. Shit, man. I remember playing the Atari when it was new. Now I was like 7 or 6 or something. But yeah, it was new back then. I never played Pong new. But one of my friends had an Intellivision and it was terrible. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand playing that. One of my friends had one with audio cassettes. I don't even know how that worked. We never got it working. But it was an older gaming system. I don't know what it was. And then yeah, we got our ColecoVision with Atari. Played the hell out of those. I love the ColecoVision. I love the Atari 2600. And then Nintendo. And then I never looked back. Never really wanted to play those games again. Even though those are some really good games if you think about it, you know? Because they're so simple, but they're brainless, which is kind of awesome. But anyway. So let's say we get into some I'm like I said, I don't have that much news. And this might actually be a short stream. Um because like I said, I mean unless you guys get me going on another rant. I don't know. Cuz I don't have any game systems hooked up in here right now. I mean, I have the Raspberry Pi, but I don't have a thing for it, a scene for it. And I don't know how legal that is. You know? Would I have to play a game that I know I own? Is that a thing? I don't even know. Can I play Little Samson? Just take your anger out on Lionel's when you finish stream. I honestly haven't played Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom in 5-6 days. I feel like I've gotten everything I need out of that right now. So I might go back a little later. I went on a Gleeok hunt. I didn't end up. Now I realized after I died a couple of times, I was like, okay, I'm gonna come back to this. I don't really feel like doing this right now. But the King Gleeok, I haven't beaten that yet. I beat the other ones though. I haven't beaten the Frost one. I beat the electric one and the fire one. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't know. I get weird that way, I guess. Which makes me probably not a real gamer because I'm like, okay, I'm done with games for a while. I'm good. Now I'm gonna go back to my movies and my books. I'm a nerd. What can I say? I love my books, man. I'm reading I finished seventh the seventh level. If you guys see him over there on Billy, I read his book, and then when I finished that, I started reading the 11th book in Wheel of Time. I'm almost done with Wheel of Time, which is like crazy, but I'm almost there. And when I'm done with that, I'll start reading the first book of The Dark Tower. And I'm very excited about that because I love me some Stephen King. Um, what would you and the guys do if your next movie budget was 300 million? If our budget was, if somebody was willing to give us 300 million, I'd say, okay, we'll make 6 movies for that. Like, well, I don't even know how to spend 300 million. I don't know how to spend 100 million. It's like the 12th book is when Sanderson took over Bucho, which I will say really quick. I'll go back to the budget thing. Um, the thing that I don't like about Jordan is there's a conversation going on, and in between sentences, between people, he'll explain something about what they're thinking. And the problem is, by the time I've gotten to the end of that paragraph, I don't remember what the conversation was about because he's talking about what they're wearing or what they think about what they're wearing or whatever, you know what I mean? And that's one of the most annoying things. Just have the conversation, then y'all can talk all you want about what you're wearing and what it means and why it's important and blah blah blah. Don't start this big huge paragraph with a question and then here's what I think about all this stuff and then oh, here's the answer. So now I'm like, what was the question? I can't even remember. That's the biggest problem with Jordan. So I'm going to be interested to see how Sanderson takes the reins and how he tells the story because I'm planning on reading Stormwind, the archive, Storm, whatever it's called, whatever that thing's called. I'm going to read that eventually. Okay. So, okay, wait a minute. I've beaten a few King Lions, but they still piss me off. Yes. And then budget. We've actually talked about that. We've actually talked about what would we do if we had a budget like that. Of course, you'd fill that movie with stars. You'd fill that movie with as many competent people that have worked in the industry, right? Now, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that we want to work with on the next movie, regardless of how much it's going to cost to keep them. It's like we're going to find a way to make sure that like Rudy is our assistant director, you know, and you know what I mean? But at the same time, there are certain positions, mainly I would say acting, where yeah, we would love to have Mark Hamill show up and say a few words, you know? I mean, come on, dude, how cool would that be? But I mean, on top of that, it's just making sure that you have the best crew you can, and then once you get to that point, then you can say, all right, now we can expand our ideas on what can be done for this movie without getting into what Hollywood gets into, which is all of this bloat. And that's the problem. You say, hey, we need to spend a bunch of this money or we're going to lose it. So then oh, well, let's write a quick scene about blah, 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 and we'll throw that in the movie. Well, guess what? That doesn't fit in the movie anymore because that's not part of the original idea. And I think I'm just guessing because I don't know. And I don't think any of us will ever know unless someone tells the story about it. But so many movies nowadays are so bloated. They're over long. The stories are a little all over the place. They don't have that satisfaction that some older movies do. Some older movies have the same problem. But my opinion has always been if you say this is how big your idea is. This is how much budget you have. How can you tell this big story with this much money? When you get that, then you get some room to really be creative and say, okay, there's a 10-minute sequence in the middle of this story that might have a bunch of information in it. But is there a way that we can distill that same information down to where it's not as expensive? Is there a way that we can, I don't know, film around the fact that the damn shark doesn't work? That's what he had to do with Jaws, and it made an amazing film. It made it more tense than it would have been if we'd seen that. You know what I'm saying? That's that's the beauty of having a smaller budget. So somebody saying that they're going to give us that much money, that would be ridiculous. The other problem with that too is that that'll never happen. The reason that these movies go to 300 million is because they've went to Disney and said, okay, or Kathleen Kennedy or whoever the producer was that decided, okay, this is how much we need to make this movie. Disney, you told me to make this movie. Now we're going to make this movie for this much money because you told me to. I'm telling you what it's costing. And then, of course, with Indy, there were delays. There were all kinds of things, problems that they had to face. And then, of course, all the CG bloat in that movie. So yeah, if we had a very sizable budget, yeah, I would like to work with some of the best people in the business. You know, I would love to hire Ridley Scott's set designer and his costume designer. Yes. I mean, absolutely. Wouldn't you? I mean, if you could work with the best of the best, wouldn't you want to? And especially when you have an idea that is bigger than what your budget is. Right? But at the same time, learn about that restraint. And see, my whole thing is when I wrote my script, my goal was to try to make it where it's completely readable. And you go, yeah, I want to know what happens next. And it doesn't fiddle fart around with a bunch of crap. Look, for better or worse, that script moves. Now, the problem is some of that stuff's just not going to work because it's too big. It's way too big. For example, it doesn't make sense for a fly-by-night video store to have 10 employees. It just doesn't make sense. It's not feasible. It doesn't make sense in any world. There shouldn't be that many employees. And then, oh, well, what do you know? They're hiring a new person. Well, guess what? That character can be the same, but not be an employee. How can we change the story to make it make a little more sense, but still preserve the idea there? That's what it's all about. And so basically what I'm saying is a $300 million movie for any of our ideas is way too big. I guarantee you we can make a killer movie for $10 million. Killer movie. And we would be in hog heaven because we'd be using some big boy toys. You know what I mean? We'd be able to pay for a professional editor, a professional color grader. We could actually pay Yoshi what he's worth. Yoshi and David, if the movies needed CG. All of that stuff would be like, oh man, we'd have some breathing room. But yeah, I would rather have I don't know. It's going to be hard. It's hard. I would be curious at this point where we are in the script process. I would be interested to give that over to, say, Rudy, right? Our assistant director for Adventures of Game Chasing, and say, what do you think this movie, how much do you think it costs to make this movie? And I want 2 cameras. At least 2 cameras. There you go. See, that's the thing. That's one of the things that I've learned from watching Ridley Scott movies, and it is absolutely imperative in my opinion, because our movies are so dialogue heavy. We need to be filming with 2 cameras. Because if this person, if you watch movies, you know what I'm talking about. One person's in focus, they're talking. The other person is like this. So basically, yeah. So that's that's the back of somebody's head. And we're having this discussion, and I'm all like, blah, 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 blah. And then the camera turns around, and now That's the back of my head. And here's the other person talking. Well, blah, 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 right? We were filming our movie, filming all of this, then flipping the camera around and shooting all of this. So basically what that means is if something happened between the two actors, you came up with something new, something amazing. Let's say we came up with, so we're filming, say it's a conversation between me and Jay. Okay? So Jay, the camera's focused on me, Jay is dirty, which means not in focus. He's not the focus of this shot, right? This setup. Jay's in the dirty. Okay? I'm on screen. We're having this discussion. We're having the thing. It's in the script. Then we flip around and something happens that we didn't expect. Either one of us says something that the other responds to, and all of a sudden it's golden. It's like, okay, this scene just went from here to here. Guess what? We have to reshoot all of my stuff because we already got coverage on me. So if you have two cameras, every take can be used, either angle. And that's something that I learned from watching Ridley that I'd never really thought about before. But it got me thinking, and like, we need that. Because our movies are basically dialogue heavy movies. We need this. So we not only need two cameras, we need two camera operators. Billy would probably be one of them. We also need a gaffer that can light for two different setups, because that's a problem. Because I guarantee you, if the camera was back by the door filming this way, it would look like ass because it is not lit for that. It's lit for this. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's a lot to consider, but I think it can be done, and I think we can make this movie for a lot less than what Adventures in Game Chasing was, because it's a smaller movie. It's a smaller idea. It takes place in just a few locations. I think it can be done for pretty cheap, but I don't know. But there you go. Anyway, that was a really long conversation. Sorry. Hire the best choreographers and everyone else that's the best in the business and film in some major cities. Yes. I mean, dude, right there, you've got, because we kept getting priced out of different locations that were perfect, that were seriously perfect, because it had a little bit of everything. There was it was basically like what you hear about, like Pinewood Studios, right? You've got this huge freaking warehouse where you can set up sets. You control all the lighting. You control all of your stuff. You build your set. And guess what? You walk 10 feet this way and you're on another set. That's what this place was. And guess what? It had a storefront already there, because it was a mini store in the big store, because it was like a hardware store or something originally, but it was this huge warehouse. And it was so cool. It was like, holy crap, this is the front of the video game store. Blah, 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 blah. Dude, oh my God, this is perfect. And we got completely priced out of it because they were being buttholes. But that's it. And we lost that within like a week, 2 weeks before shooting. So we had to rush to try to figure out a different thing. So yeah, having a bigger budget would mean that it would be easier to make these, like it would be easier for us to go, okay, this is the perfect place. We can do this and we can do it right here. So that's what we're hoping for. But again, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And major cities doesn't, at least for my story, it doesn't, I say mine. This next one, I don't think that's a big deal. With the next movie, I don't know what he has in mind. I've read some ideas, but there's nothing there so far that makes me go, oh yeah, this one's going to be I'll say this. There are some scenes or some ideas for the next movie after the video store movie that are going to depend heavily on practical effects and possibly visual effects to expand it. So yeah, it will be more expensive for sure. The third movie will be more expensive than the second movie. The second movie has the potential to be cheaper than the first movie, but it all depends on it all depends. Depends on, okay, where are we going to get the money from? Are we going to be financed? Like, are we going to have like an actual, like almost like an executive producer that says, okay, I'll give you this portion of the budget if this person will give a portion of the budget. It's how some movies get made that way. Or, well, we're not backed by an actual movie studio, so it's not like we have to worry about that part. We don't have to sell somebody on an idea and then them say, okay, we're going to, yeah. So I don't know. All I'm saying is, yeah, I want to make another movie quickly. Like, let's go. Today. Let's go. And if Ana de Armas could be in it, cool. But she probably wouldn't say yes to our movie because it's very tiny. It's a small movie. She probably wouldn't be able to act her ass off like she does in everything else. And the other thing that you mentioned could be okay, I guess. You can do the fight scenes. Hey, I hope you're not that expensive. The Samsonite Archive. The name you're looking for is the Samsonite Archive. For the podcast? Have a cameo by Johnny Five and have him bother Melvor. I mean, sure. You guys should do your own version of Maltese Falcon, but with a rare game. Bucho, you have $300 million to make a movie. Bucho, get me Salma Hayek's agent on the line. Trent Reznor for the soundtrack. Yeah, but that's the weird thing. Is like, dude, Martin did an amazing job for us. I love Trent Reznor. But number one, would our movie fit Trent Reznor's style? Would we rather work with Martin? I mean, there's going to be situations like that. And there's going to be situations where we're like, we want to work with this person again. And they're not available, or they've moved up in the industry and they're no longer in our price range. That could happen too. Jude, welcome. And Chris B, welcome. Good to see both of you. Good job. We have Leon and Yoshi. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But at the same time, as much as Yoshi, I mean, seriously, I love that guy. Yoshi's amazing. Amazing guy. David, I've only met a couple of times, had words with him briefly. Really like him too. I would love for them to be a part of it. But guess what? They might be busy. They might have to say, look, I got to be honest with you. I love you guys, but there's no way I can make this work for the amount of money that you're willing to pay me. And I get it. I understand it. Low budget, but I just can't. I don't have the time to do it. That could happen. So yeah. But you guys flew in space on the first movie. Yeah. And that was a lot of money. And that took them, but I guarantee you whatever amount of, I don't know the details. Okay. I don't know any of that, but whatever that money was, it wasn't enough. Leon and Yoshi guaranteed, well, Leon for sure, because he didn't charge anything, but yeah, they didn't get paid what they deserved for the work they did. And that's one of the things that we want to do on the next movie. And absolutely, editor, color grader, sound design, sound effects, all that stuff. I mean, we still may have Joe do the sound mix because I think he did an amazing job. But I mean, there might be some amazing sound guy that says, I want to work on your movie. What do we do at that point? I don't know. That's not a decision I have to make. But all I'm saying is, if we could hire some big time professionals to do this stuff, of course, that's what we'd want. But we also want to work with a lot of the people that we worked with on Adventures, because I think everybody did an amazing job. Had to Go just came back. Did you say the next movie will be a video store movie? Yes. That's the plan anyway. It depends though, because we may not be able to get financing. It's just the truth. We may pitch this story to somebody and they go, you know what? I like the story. I don't want to make that movie. I want to make a movie about a guy that was a sports guy, and he wants to, oh, you're okay. You've already lost me. But that happens all the time. Is that somebody goes, it's really good. I'm not interested in making it. Or we could do a Kickstarter and a few people go, yeah, this is a really cool idea. I want to do it. But it doesn't catch on to the major portion of the audience. Maybe it only applies to a few people. Maybe only a few people say this is a good idea. And the rest is everybody like going, this is not, I don't care. I don't care about this, you know? So that could be a thing. We have to prepare for that. And if that's the case, we hold on to this story. I cry many nights to sleep because no one wants to see my movie, the idea that I had in my head, and we move on and make the next movie. Happens all the time. When you hear about these movies, it's, oh yeah, I've been working on this script for 7 or 8 years. Why? Well, I kept working on other stuff and nobody wanted to make it. Happens all the time. So it's the thing. But see, the coolest part, I'll be honest, man, dude, seriously, the coolest part about writing a script is you don't have to worry about budget. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You're just trying to write the best story, and you're trying to craft the best story. And think about what I was trying to do is say, I want this person for this part, and I have to get inside their head, what I imagine is their head, and write as them. So much fun. So much fun. I'm telling you. It is absolute pure freedom. And it's the first time where it's like the first time I actually finished something. You know, I've got a story idea that is, I think, could be on Netflix. Seriously. I think it could be a series on Netflix. I've told one person about it. Two people. Two people about it. And one of them said, dude, get to writing. The other one said, dude, get to writing. And the problem is I keep getting stuck. Now I have this script under my belt. I'm thinking about going back to it and just see what happens. You never know. But I think it's a killer idea. Killer idea. I don't even want to go into it. But I think it's a killer idea. Who knows? So that might be one of those situations where, oh yeah, it's been in my head for years and I finally got around to finding somebody who was dumb enough to make it. And what could happen? They go, okay, we will pay you so much money for this idea. Bye. And then I have to wait and go, man, I hope they do it well. And then it comes out and they go, that's nothing like my idea. They took bits and scraps. That happens all the time. So yeah, it's a weird thing. Steven Spielberg presents a Billy Chaser film. Dude, that would be amazing. I lost interest in Zelda after getting ×2 of the familiars. Try again. Well, I mean, if it doesn't speak to you, you know, but like me, did you like Breath of the Wild? Maybe you're like, this is too much like Breath of the Wild. I love Breath of the Wild, and the only thing I wanted when I was done playing it was give me another Breath of the Wild. That's all I want. And they gave it to me. Years later, but they gave it to me. So I was completely happy with it. But if it's not speaking to you, don't worry about it. How many nude scenes are going to be in the new movie? At least 10, right? Chris. I don't know how to tell you this. But if there is going to be any nudity, it may not be the nudity you're thinking. But we'll see. We'll talk about that. I don't think it's going to be flat out nude. The thing that we've started to figure out is that while we sometimes talk, rated R and all that kind of stuff, we really like, especially this movie. Like Ghost Getters it could be a different thing, but I don't think so. It's like Ghost Getters could be a lot of things, but this movie is more like, it's more like an Empire Records PG-13. It doesn't have to be foul in order to get the story across. And I don't think that it's worth going over the line. But then again, some of the ideas that are in the script right now could put us over the line anyway. So I've even asked the question, how far are we going to go with some of this stuff? Because we could do some crazy stuff if we wanted to. Like some really crazy stuff. But it just depends on it depends. I'm really happy though. I was really happy with the script, but I was also like, it's kind of like when you go into a room, there's a bunch of people and they're all telling stories and you're like, I got a story, but you don't know how everybody's going to take it. You don't know if it's going to be funny or if people are going to look at you like you're an idiot. You know what I mean? It's that same sort of thing. This was basically my brain on a page and I handed it over and hoped people would like it. And so far, everybody that's read it, there's only been 3 people. Well, only one person's actually read it. The other 2, Billy and Jay, love the story and they love what I was trying to get across, and they believe in that story. It's going to take a lot of tweaking though. But yeah, it was really gratifying to hear that they enjoyed it so much. So there we go. How about just getting Selma, not her agent? And you're right, Cosma. And by the way, thank you. And welcome. Fast and Furious went to space too. They did. My excellent Samsonite archive joke was from when you were trying to remember Stormlight Archive, guessing a bunch of S words. See, I'd already. But that's it. You're right, Bucho. Bucho, everybody. Thank you, Bucho. Maybe the first call should be to, yeah, especially if he's going to help you get Selma. Yoshi definitely didn't ask for what he could have. Absolutely. So it's going to be Jay and Silent Billy? No. Is the movie you're making also a bit like High Fidelity? A bit. A bit. But it's weird. It's got elements, and again, I think anytime you write a story, when you're like, I want to write a story about such and such, the first thing that goes through your head are all the movies you've ever seen, TV shows that are like that. And you try to take some of the, maybe a bullet point here and a bullet point there, but then at that point, it's like a multiverse. It's, you know what I mean? It's like the Flash. Basically, you take it from this point, but then you branch off in another direction, your own direction. And you take that idea in a direction that hopefully people are surprised by. Because I don't think the idea that I would say the starting idea, I guess you could say, the thing that gets us moving in the movie isn't that original. What's original is how things play out and the dynamics between the characters. Because the thing that I really focused or tried to focus on was that the characters had arcs and that they Yeah. Because if you think about it, Adventures in Game Chasing, all the characters have arcs, all of them, and it's fun to watch because of that. One of the things that I was really trying to do is to make sure that every character had that moment of realization or that metamorphosis, kind of that understanding that makes them able to do the thing later. You know what I mean? And it's simple stuff. It sounds simple when I boil it down like that. It's not easy. It's not easy to juggle all of that stuff and still make it entertaining to read. Because otherwise it just feels like you're reading a math problem. You know, it doesn't feel natural, it doesn't feel organic, it doesn't feel like this could actually happen. It just feels goofy and boring, could be. But that's, yeah. So there are elements from any I explained this the shell of the story to you. We're trying to save a video store in this day and age. Imagine you probably say, "Oh, well that's like this, that's like this, that's like this." Sure. But I'm taking some of those ideas, those shells of an idea, and then expanding them and blowing them up, and a lot of crazy stuff happens, and it's fun, and it's just a fun movie. But it's also, there's a message. Any writer worth anything isn't just they don't want to write a story of this happened and this happened and this happened, the end. They want you to feel something, and they want you to come away with something. You can probably guess what that something might be. But all I'm trying to do is write a story that I'm proud of, that they're proud of, and that they want to work on. And at the same time, maybe that some good things will happen. Like Familian stuff. No. Well, maybe. We're happy that Rob is happy. Yes. Cosma. Will there be a scene where the manager cuts a plugged in TV cord and electrocutes himself? Maybe. I mean, I can't really. That's the thing. That's the thing about the real thing that happened. I can't understand how that even came into my head. And I don't know how you could make that happen. I don't know. Like, it would have to make sense for the story. Why would that happen? Why did it happen? I'm still trying to figure it out. So I don't know. Is Game Dave going to make an appearance in the next movie? Maybe. Look, any of the actors that you saw in any of the things that we've done, Adventures in Game Chasing, the show, whatever, we're trying to figure out ways that we can have any or all of them in the movie. It's all dependent upon their availability. It depends on, I mean, it just depends on a lot of things. But yeah, I mean, come on. Game Dave is an amazing guy. I don't get to hang out with him nearly enough. Like, I've gotten to hang out with Eric and Chief since the movie many times. It's been great. But I mean, Game Dave, look, I'm sorry, Eric. I'm sorry, Chief, but Game Dave is just like, there's something, it's so weird for us to be disconnected by what, 10, 12 years? However, I don't know how old he is. But man, it's like we're brothers. It's like we think a lot alike. And it's also, he reminds me of some people I've known in the past where it's like, I want to make that guy laugh. And when you do, you feel good about it because he's so witty and so sharp. That's exactly, yeah. And I know for those switched on guys that are in the audience right now, you might be thinking, oh, like Jerry? Of course, like Jerry. But I've met a lot of people over the years that are like that. That I'm like, okay, that's a smart guy. He's really witty, charming, funny, all that stuff. I want to make that guy laugh. I want to make that guy my friend. And yeah, I could drop to my knees or I could make him laugh. I choose to make them laugh. So, yes. Needle cable guy door scene with the big fisheye lens. Yeah. Cable guy. Yeah. Like a modern brat pack. And Ninjinzu Games, welcome. Good to see you. I don't know why I'm talking like this. And Dave is incredible. He is just a funny guy. But he's... somebody's got to buy him. Yeah. Dave is one of those guys that it's actually annoying how talented he is and how funny he is. Like, he's funny in a way that makes me... like, I wish I was as funny as Game Dave. I'll just say that. I mean, I think I'm a pretty funny guy, you know? And I'm not trying to be like all, like, no. I know that I can be pretty funny. But I also know my limits. And Dave is on another level. And he has said things that has made my... I mean, seriously, I'm surprised I didn't burst a blood vessel in my brain, because the dude has made me laugh so freaking hard. And just like, where the hell did that come from? And it's so damn funny and so perfect. He's just, that's it. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, I would love for him to be in the movie. But he also, I don't know if you heard this, he also got a new job. So I don't know what that's going to do. We're really going to have to tighten down hopefully whenever we get a budget and all that stuff, and we can say, okay, go time is this time, that he has the ability to take off work so he can come do it. I would love for him to do it. And maybe we have to do something where we change the script around, not the script, but we change the shooting days around to accommodate him. That could be a thing where he has to come in and shoot over a 4-day weekend or something. You know what I mean? And that happens all the time. That happens all the time. Like, for example, Michael Shannon. I saw an interview with Michael Shannon when he was talking about The Flash. And he said, yeah, the Man of Steel, I shot, there was a training regiment over a whole summer. And then there was a 12-week shoot or something like that. 12 weeks. And he said, I came in this and was done in a week. And it's because they moved the script around to accommodate Michael Shannon's availability. So yeah, we may have to do the exact same thing. For multiple people, we had to do it on Adventures in Game Chasing. We had to do it for the kids, because kids can't work during the school year, you know? So there was a lot of that. And we got to figure that out. But that's not technically my job. That's not Billy or Jay's job. That's Rudy and his team, the assistant directors, the line producer, all of that. They figure all that out, the scheduling. And then based on the scheduling, you got to figure out, okay, well, how much does it cost to have, okay, so this character is going to be in these scenes. So we need this location, this location, this location, and this location for those amount of days. How much is it going to cost us to make sure that we have those sets or those locations on those days? It's an incredible job. And there's so much work that goes behind all that stuff. It's fascinating. But it's also like, wow, I never thought of that. But that's what happens on every single production. So basically the answer is yes. I would love for Dave to be in the movie. With a higher budget, you can also do a huge premiere. Yeah. There's a lot of things that a budget, I mean, dude, we've barely done any promotion outside of Billy doing a YouTube video and me over here on my channel every now and then doing an interview. We could actually do something that actually costs money. Yeah, it'd be awesome. I could have gone to the Philly premiere, but I had to work. Well, Ninjinzu, that's no excuse, man. I'm just kidding. Can you audition? Serious inquiry? I mean, sure. That's the thing. That's the thing about all this. It could be like, we need this, um, we need a male in his 20s, and the character is a goofball. You show up that day for the audition, hand you a couple of pages of script, you read it over, and you go, okay, I gotta be this person. That's what auditions are like. And that's what we did for, well, I say everything, for a lot of parts. It's what Jim had to do to get his part. It's what Lance, who played Jar, that's what he did. He came in and blew us away. It blew us away. Stuff that wasn't on the page that we didn't expect. And it ended up being in the movie because he was so like, okay, do it just that way again. Because you blew our socks off. Because you brought something to the role that wasn't on the page. You hear those things in oh, this actor did an amazing job, and they brought something to the role that wasn't on the page. That's what Lance did. Jar was not that. He was supposed to be scary, but not what he did. Scary with a bit of, like, there's some weird kinky stuff going on. There was all kinds of stuff that he did that was like, that's not what we expected. And it was awesome. So yeah, absolutely. You want to audition for a role? Absolutely. Now, it could be, here's the biggest issue, and this is the thing that scares the hell out of me. Man, it scares me. Is that there are certain parts in the movie, certain roles that I've written for a specific person. What if that person can't do it? Now we have to somehow jettison all of these ideas that I've had for that character over a period of months. Right? I have to jettison that and try to cast a brand new person. Can that person fit into somewhat of a thing? And can they do the part justice? And maybe can they bring something to the role that I didn't expect? Because I know what this person can bring to the table. I don't know this person. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest, scariest thing right now is the longer we wait, the longer that it takes to get this done, then it means, hey, maybe that person moves away. Maybe that person gets busy doing something else. Maybe that person, like Game Dave, gets a new job and can't do it. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. All I know is every single person, every single speaking role in this movie, in this script, I had a specific person in mind. I wrote with someone's voice. But there's a possibility that some or all of those people might not work out. So we are going to have to readjust. And that's when you start to think, okay. So just for an example, let's say I was writing the part for Morton, right? And I'm talking about not just Game Dave, the person. I'm talking about the character Morton. I wanted the character Morton in this part, in this role. Okay? So now I have to go, okay, Game Dave can't do it. Son of a bitch. So now I have to try to describe Morton in a way that makes casting people that are looking at, notices and all that, to look at that and go, I can do this. So either people that have agents, the agents look at it and they go, oh, Jimmy Fred McGee over here. It's a terrible name. It's not a very Hollywood name, Jimmy Fred McGee. But Jimmy Fred McGee would be perfect for this role. That is exactly who this person is. That's what you're doing as a casting director. It's what you do as an agent, is you're looking out for parts that are good for the people that you represent. And then casting directors, it's their job to boil that character down to a few sentences and then try to get the perfect person for that part. Now, if you have budget, you say, Well, that sounds like Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt. I mean, think about it. Think about Brad Pitt replacing Game Dave in Adventures in Game Chasing. Would it work? Because that would be a dream, right? It would be a dream to have Brad Pitt in your movie, but does he work for Morton? I don't know. I don't know. I look at that and go, yeah, hell no. There's no way that Brad Pitt would work in that movie. But you don't know that. He could be perfect. So it's one of those situations. That's the scariest thing for me is all of these people that I've written for may not be available anymore or may not be available at the time that we decide that we have to shoot. So yeah, I'm sure the women won't mind. You mean the wives and the girlfriends and the such as? Get Tom Cruise to do a stunt. Well, that's the thing. Like I can't think of there is okay, I'll give you this. There is a scene in the movie that I'm afraid of because I don't know how we would do it. Because we would have to get some very, very talented stunt people to do this. There would need to be a fight choreographer. There would need to be multiple things that I don't know if we can do this and pull it off the way that I envision it. Now, again, that's the weird thing about movie making, right? I'm the writer. Now I hand this over to Billy, and now it's Billy's job to try to make this work the way he sees fit. So he might look at that scene and go, we got to do something else. And so it might cut my scene, the scene that I really want in the movie. But that may be a decision that we have to make. So at that point, what happens? Do we now need to hire animals? Do we need to hire what are we going to have to do with this new idea that doesn't exist yet? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Brad Pitt is a good actor, but he doesn't have Game Dave's gravitas. I just saved that because I'm pretty sure that will blow Game Dave's boobs off. Uh and you know, he comes in here every now and then, but I know he doesn't come here all the time. I just want to see what he says to what his response to that is. Yes, I just sent it to him. Um and Ricky does his own stunts. So that's something to keep in mind for sure. Dave just ha 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 ha. But yeah, yeah, we'll see. You're gonna need insurance for sure, for sure. Oh, Ricky, not having insurance is not a that's not an option. You have to be insured to be in the production. That's just the way it works. You know how many times we tried to skirt some things and got shut down immediately? Oh, okay, you want to do that? The rest of us have to walk because of that. The rest of the crew, including your cameraman, your gaffer, your sound guy, everyone has to walk because you're breaking the law. So, you need insurance, Ricky, if you're going to be in the movie. I don't get hurt. I'm invisible. Tom Cruise could walk in the store asking for water after crashing his experimental jet that was going Mach 10. I mean, that's true. That's true. But could he play Morton? That's the amazing thing about being a casting director is depending on the budget. You go, okay, mid budget, okay, we can get these actors. And I don't know how they've got to have just gobs and gobs of information, all kinds of things available to them that give them a an idea of who they can have. Oh my gosh. I can't show this to you because it's, well, yeah, I can. Can I? Will this, oh, it won't work. Okay, that doesn't work. I can't just drag it over. It's Hugh Laurie from something. I don't know from what show, but it says, "I'd like to apply to become a homosexual, please." He's on the phone. So Bucho, apparently he liked your comment. That's all I'm gonna say. And it's dark outside, so that means the fireworks are starting. I'd hire a great cinematographer. Which movies do you think have some amazing cinematography? Well, see, that's the thing. Even like I think Roger Deakins is probably one of if not the best working cinematographer today. But what would he bring to a store about two idiots trying to save a video store? Like, what would he? It wouldn't be. It's not enough for him. It's like asking. I mean, I don't know. There's, yeah, but you could get somebody to say like, um, you just heard one. Oh, or you heard one there. Oh yeah, Tom Cruise did a great job in Tropic Thunder. And that's one of those situations where you took an actor that's completely not for that part and he just ran with it and had a great time and it worked. But how many times do people try to do that and they go, "That person was miscast for this role." How many times have you heard that? You hear it many, many times. So just because they're a good actor and they're popular doesn't mean that they can play every part. You know? I don't know if that was here or you. Yeah, I mean they're definitely going now. He could perfectly capture Billy twerking on the roof during sunset. I need to get that. I need to get that footage. Okay, that sounded. Where is that, by the way? Oh, there it is. I need to put this in the rotation of images or slash videos. Is this going to be too big? Oh, no. That's great. Freaking Billy. There you go. Is it fireworks or war? No, it's definitely fireworks. War is on Fridays and Saturday nights. It's really not that bad here. It's not bad at all here usually. No, who's surprising with his comedy versus a drama or whatever? John Cena. Absolutely. Absolutely. He's one of those actors that is he's he does pick a lot of safe roles, but then he'll also say, "You know what? I want to take this role because I can try this." And then he does it and you're like, "Whoa. Okay." Like many times in Peacemaker, it was like, "Whoa." So yeah. So he just went up to you out of nowhere and asked, "So can you film me twerking atop a hill?" No, it was we were both we've been talking about this for months. Like him being in different locations and it looks like a certain kind of video and then all of a sudden he's twerking in the middle of it. So this isn't the last time you're going to see Billy twerking. I mean, that's just the way it is. But look, I have to go to the little boys room. Um in front of the Statue of Liberty, of course. Yeah. Like you've got Statue of Liberty there, birds flying, and then Just pan over. There he is. Twerking. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But look, I I have to urinate. So I'll be right back. Okay? Be right back. Hey, what's up? Hey, that's the way twerk can go. Exactly. Exactly. And see, what's weird is I had an idea for a video that I probably had it like a year and a half ago, and I never did it. And I did like two, is basically, okay, you know, the Jonathan Frakes video or the show that he was on where he would just ask, or it's a meme video where he just asks random questions like, you ever forget where you're parked, or you ever, what, it just whatever. I can't remember but it's funny just because it's like it's just so random. Well, I was going to do a video like that, but I was in different locations every time, right? And I would ask a question. Have you ever, you ever punched a baby goat in the mouth? Just stuff like that, right? Funny, goofy, whatever. And just do that. I still haven't I think I filmed two things for it, and it needs to be like there needs to be like 30 of them. And I've done like two. And it's just because I forget about it. Because I'm in a weird situation or a weird location, and I just completely forget to do it. But one of the things I wanted to do, completely forgot about it, is I wanted to be standing in front of one of those mountains. And you said, you ever, like climbed a mountain and then forgotten where you just what I mean, I don't remember what the thing was. But since I didn't do it, I've forgotten what the funny thing was. But it could be as simple, like you could start out like simple, like you ever made like I don't know, you ever made pancakes from scratch, just stuff like that. And then you get crazier and crazier and crazier until you're ending with stuff like, have you ever punched a baby goat in the mouth? And I have some of them written down, and I think it would be really funny. And it could be one of those things that becomes like a meme, and people start doing it or something. I don't know. But I got to do it. And it's just like Billy twerking on a freaking hill there. We'd been talking about that for months. You ever clean your cheeks with the NES cartridge cleaner? Exactly. Exactly. That's I mean, it could be like the You ever you ever tried to piss somebody off by putting a Weezer CD in your butt crack? You know, I mean stuff like that. You know? But I want it to be like normal, normal, normal. What the hell? And then normal, and you're like, wait, was that normal? And then just like go nuts and do what the hell, what the hell, what the hell, what the hell. You know what I mean? So there you go. That's the thing. So let's look. I've got three news things. Is a legit horror movie in the movie agenda? It is in the possibility of yes, we would like to make all kinds of movies. So yes, but yes, kind of. Yes, kind of. Yes. I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want to make one of those? You know? I mean, I look regular horror movies, especially especially some of the creature features that Billy likes. Not my thing, but you bet your ass I want to work on it, and you bet your ass I want to be in it. You know, I want to be strangled by a tentacle monster around my butt. See, I don't even know what that means, but sure, suffer, suffer for the art. You know. Anyway, um, so here's the like I said, some of this may be news to you. Some of it may be like what. Kill Bill Volume 3. Quentin Tarantino says it's not going to happen. And this is a bummer because I just put uh didn't I just put Kill Bill up there on the shelf recently? Didn't I? Anyway, I was thinking about it got me thinking about yeah, I want dude, I can never remember. Yeah. I did yeah, a while back. I I love Kill Bill. I think it's a great movie and or a great duo of movies and I still want to see the whole bloody affair. I want to see it edited together and see what the differences are because he did something similar on the other side of it. From the Hateful Eight, he made it into like extended like an episodic thing and I really enjoyed that. So I would love to see Kill Bill done that way and I like the idea that I think he had even talked about where the young girl would Vivica A. Fox's daughter would grow up and chase after her, and I think that'd be great. But apparently that's not going to happen. He says no. The movie Critic is his final film, which is filming in September, I think. Filming this fall, anyway. So that's the thing. Um, that's the thing. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Ricky, would you suck for $1 million? Then it goes to well, what if it has this and that on it while doing this in the area? What are you talking about? Is that the part of the video? You see, I wanted it to be more goofy than dirty, you know? Because that's usually where my brain goes anyway. Like, dirty's been done, you know? Dirty's been done. I like the goofy stuff because a lot of that is just like, what? I don't even, what? You know? I don't know. Like that, what was well, anyway. Which of you in the group would survive a horror movie? I mean, depends on the script, right? And I mean, here's the thing. I think I think the plan here, and it makes sense, is that Billy would direct. So unless he himself wants to get killed on camera, whatever. Um, for a while there, I really thought that, with my long hair, put some glasses on me, and I could be like a professor, you know? The hey, all this weird stuff is gonna happen. we need to go to Professor Fairweather Butthole Johnson guy. That guy. We need to go see him for the information. And then I'm like the guy that's like, well, you know what it says in the book of blah blah blah. It says that you guys did this, and you're oh my god, that's what I thought I was gonna do. But now I don't have long hair anymore, so maybe it doesn't work. I don't know. So I don't even know what I would play. That's up to whoever's gonna write that script. Probably not gonna be me. Quentin said he's done with movies anyway, didn't he? I've never seen Kill Bill until this year, and I love him. Yeah, Kill Bill is amazing. And yeah, the movie critic is his final film, supposedly. And then hopefully he'll go off and do either streaming stuff or he'll write books. In which case, you know what? I really enjoyed his book. His Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's great. So, Hateful Eight was so good. Oh, yeah, Hateful Eight is good, but it doesn't rank up there with the rest of them to me. Like, I'd say it's somewhere in the middle. I'd probably say that even though I don't hate Death Proof, I think it's probably his weakest single movie. But it's super entertaining, It's like there's a lot that I like about that movie, but it's also like it's like you just wanted to do stunts. And you wanted to do stunts for real, and you wanted to push the envelope. Good for you, but wasn't the best movie. Anyway, I expected the wrong thing from Hateful Eight, and I hated it when I saw it. I thought it was going to be action, and it wasn't. Hateful Eight is my least favorite Tarantino movie. See, there you go. See, I'm for me, it's somewhere in the middle. I never know what to expect with I think it was Inglorious Bastards is the one where I'm like, I know what this movie's going to be, and it wasn't. It was better. And especially the final act of that movie made me go, I am never going to expect anything from Quentin Tarantino ever again. No matter what he makes, I'm going to just go in blank and go, tell me a story, dude. Tell me a story. And you know what? The dude can tell a story. Even though I don't like Hateful Eight as much as the other ones, captivated the entire time. You're captivated. The dude can tell a story. So yeah, I'm just as excited about the movie critic as I was about any of the other ones. I remember I was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was almost done, and I was like, man, what an interesting Quentin Tarantino movie. And then the end happened. And I'm like, what? So yeah. Gotta roll, gang. Pray to the heavens above that I should catch you on the next one. Well, Bucho, thank you. And everybody say goodbye to Bucho. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you coming in here, even if it's for a couple minutes each and every time. I appreciate it. So yeah. Tarantino's amazing. Let's see what he does next. Now I don't know if anybody else is strangely excited, interested, curious about what the Barbie movie's going to be. I saw I saw the stuff and I'm like, okay, you got Margot Robbie, you got Ryan Gosling. This could be really fun or it could be terrible. And then I saw the trailer and I'm like, okay, this could be hilarious and dare I say, is there some heartwarming stuff? What the hell's going on? I don't know what to expect from this movie. But anyway, the director, Greta Gerwig, is attached to direct not just one, but two Chronicles of Narnia movies for Netflix. So apparently, they're going to start over on Netflix. And yeah, we'll see. Again, I haven't seen Barbie. In fact, I don't know if I've seen a Greta Gerwig movie yet. I don't know. You think Barbie should have been in the 80s? I mean, possibly. But the story of Narnia is interesting. It's C.S. Lewis, right? Good friend to another one of my my gurus, Tolkien. Um, I was like, well, what was I doing? I'm looking up Greta Gerwig and see if I've seen anything that she's done. Okay, that is not helpful. And there we go. There we go. Known for Lady Bird, haven't seen it. Mistress America, haven't seen it. Frances Ha, haven't seen it. Greenberg, haven't seen it. Great. Um, but didn't she co-write A Marriage Story? What did she do on Marriage Story? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's her husband? I don't know. But look, it's interesting. We'll see what happens there. I'm interested in kind of um like I don't even know what to think about Barbie because no, I'm not interested in, like you say, you want to see a Barbie movie? No, I don't. But somehow I'm sitting there going, I kind of want to see this. I kind of want to see how wacky this movie's going to be. I don't know. And it's mostly because I love Ryan Gosling. I think he's hilarious. And the trailer made me laugh multiple times. Which movies are you seeing this month? Uh, I have tickets for Dead Reckoning, Part 1, and Oppenheimer. I already have my tickets, and I am super excited. I'm so excited that my nipples are sparkling right now. I'm very, very excited. So, there you go. Sound of Freedom and Mission Impossible. What, pray tell, is Sound of Freedom? Jim Caviezel, Mira Sorvino, Bill Camp. Sound of Freedom. After rescuing a boy from ruthless child traffickers. Oh, this came out today, actually. A federal agent learns the boy's sister is still captive and decides to embark on a dangerous mission to save her. With time running out, he quits his job and journeys deep into the Colombian jungle, putting his life on the line to free her from a fate worse than death. Interesting. How have I not seen anything about this? Okay. I'm sure you will let us know how it goes. If I get the chance, I'll check out Barbie. Why not? Yeah, Barbie is one of those where, like I said, didn't care until I saw the trailer, and then I'm like, holy crap, do I want to see Barbie? So I might see Barbie. If the word of mouth is good, I might go see it. Did Narnia have a movie before the major budget movies? Yeah, it had a couple. I think they did the first two books because Liam Neeson played the lion in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So, is that what you mean? I think that's what you mean. I feel like I should be upset with myself, but I'm pretty excited for the Barbie movie, actually. Margot is hot as the sun and Gosling rules. Let's see how it goes. I don't think so. I don't think so because I feel like I'm the same way. I think yeah, Margot is amazing. She's yeah. Yeah, she's badass. And Ryan Gosling, holy crap. That dude in the right role, he is hilarious. Dude, The Nice Guys, come on. If you haven't seen The Nice Guys, check out The Nice Guys with Ryan Gosling, Russell Crowe, with a script written and then directed by Shane Black. I believe that's true. I loved it. And the OK Barbie, Let's Go Party song will be in the movie. Tiesto released a Barbie World remix. Oh, it's happening. There's going to be a bunch of Barbie World stuff going on, for sure. I saw a scene of Sound of Freedom and Jim Caviezel acted his ass off. Damn near had me shed a tear. Wrapped in plastic. It's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, Jim Caviezel is good. Did you ever watch Person of Interest? A lot of people look at CBS as like the old person's network, but I really liked Person of Interest, and I thought Jim Caviezel was badass in that. Actually, he's been badass to me ever since Count of Monte Cristo. He was great in that. So there you go. Okay, wait. I skipped Ricky when he said, I think From Dusk Till Dawn, Kill Bill, and Sin City are my favorite Quentin movies, but does Sin City count? No, because he didn't direct Sin City and he didn't direct From Dusk Till Dawn. From Dusk Till Dawn and Sin City are both Robert Rodriguez movies. But yeah, I loved Person of Interest. It's one of those where uh in that time period, I really enjoyed I really enjoyed it, but it might play as, I don't know, it might play as corny and cheesy now. I don't know. I don't know how it'd play now, but I really enjoyed it. He was a guest director on Sin City, though. Yeah, for a scene. The dialogue in Dust Till Dawn is very Tarantino. Yeah, I mean, he probably had some hands in it, but those are not Tarantino movies. Those are not. Yeah. Personally, my favorite Clooney role. It's pretty awesome. I guess Kill Bill are the only ones I really like from him. Then, eh, I love. I mean, I dude. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is one of those movies that, like I said, when the movie was over, I was kind of like, hmm. But then it, for whatever reason, it grew in my brain, and it kept. It was like something was wrong, like an infection or something. It was seriously like a disease that I just couldn't stop thinking about it. And I kept hearing things about it and I kept thinking about it. I'm like, I need to go see this movie again. And then it came out on Blu-ray and home release or whatever. And I watched it again and I'm like, this movie's fantastic. This movie's so good. I love that movie so much. So yeah. Royale with cheese. I'm telling you what, when we're done with the stream tonight, I'm seriously thinking about going and get me the breakfast burger from Whataburger. Yeah. Just saying. So this happened too. Fede Alvarez's Alien movie has wrapped production. Coming in theaters August 16th, 2024. 2024. August 16th. A little over a year from now. I'm excited. So that's the news. Wait, a new Alien movie? Absolutely. Absolutely. This was something. Wraith, you must not have been here at the time. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, that's Guy Ritchie. And then he did Snatch. Then he did the Madonna movie that went swept away, I think. Anyway. Yeah, yeah. Layer Cake? No. Layer Cake is someone else. Well, I don't understand why they don't show me. Just show me a big picture, man. Can you not? Can you not show me? Hold on. Yeah. Bam. Breakfast burger. Junior burger patty, cheese, hash browns, egg, bacon, and creamy pepper sauce. Served from 11 p.m. to 11 a.m. I love this thing, but I so rarely get to have it because I wake up very late. Number one. Number two, I usually because I'm Crohn's boy. Crohn's boy is it's not good for Crohn's boy to have breakfast. Okay, because it screws up the whole routine. And then the day is I'm in the bathroom. So that's a thing. That's just a thing. But late at night, every now and then. But yeah, the breakfast burger is badass. Guy Ritchie, isn't he a chef or something? I don't know. Oh, Rock and Rolla, I think he did do. But Layer Cake, he did not do. Man from Uncle, he did not do. Oh, wait. Man from Uncle, he did do. I like Prometheus. It was a strange concept to have those giant dudes dissolve themselves to make organisms. Was it a punishment? It was a um it was almost a pleasure. It was an honor because your DNA is going to grow this world. Look, let's be glad that Bucho's not here because he would be going nuts right now because he hates Prometheus. He hates Prometheus. And it's because, well, there's a lot of character moments in that movie that just don't make sense. And I'll agree with that. But for me, it was so shocking because as someone who already knew what those, or already had a good idea of who those characters were, and then have all of this lore be completely broken apart, and we get a new thing. I was delighted. I love that movie so much. I irrationally love Prometheus. And I get that. There's going to be people that don't agree with me, and that's fine. But I irrationally love that movie because also, as part of the movie going experience, during the surgery scene, if you remember the surgery scene in the pod, during the surgery scene, a person behind me had a seizure, and it added to the confusion and the fear and this what's going on. It was seriously one of the most amazing experiences in a theater I've ever had. So, there you go. So, even though for people that didn't like Prometheus, you can't take that away from me. So, I'll be there in 2 months. I'm having 3. Oh, dude, the breakfast burger is so good. In fact, Whataburger is, and that's the other thing. Whataburger is one of those chains that you can get a bad one. So don't go to the one if you're going to be in Arlington. Don't go to the one in North Arlington, which is probably the closest one to where Rich Palooza is. Go to a different one because that one sucks. I used to live over there in close to that area. That Whataburger sucks. They've never been good. They weren't good when I lived there 23 years ago. 23 years later, they still suck. So there you go. Hazy. This is probably weird for a first comment, but I just lolled when you said my favorite movie experience was Prometheus because someone had a seizure behind me. I mean, I get that that's funny and weird and like what, but I'm telling you, it was, every movie experience is unique. It is, and when something like that happens, I'll always remember that. Like I'm one of those people that I here look, I'm a movie theater snob. Okay, I love my movies, and I think being in the movie theater, I'm not paid to say this. I don't have any skin in the game other than I help make a movie. But movie theaters have always been sort of like my church. So when anything goes wrong, when anybody when somebody talks during a movie, when somebody talks bad about the movie going experience, I'm kind of like, ugh, because I love the movie going experience. And what happens is you can never see a movie for the first time again. So why not make the first time you see a movie the best possible experience that you can have? Unfortunately, a lot of people sometimes around you don't believe the same thing and they can ruin that experience. But I will always remember seeing The Matrix on opening night. Holy crap, what an experience. I will always remember Mission Impossible. The first Mission Impossible, 1995, seeing that opening night and hearing absolutely no sound when he's dropping from the ceiling. A completely full theater, dead silent. No rustling of bags, nobody moving, nobody coughing. Everybody was in the movie, man. We were into it. So yeah, when something crazy is going on up on screen that seriously is disgusting and gross and like what the hell, and then someone starts having a seizure behind you, it adds to the experience and it adds to the story. It's just the way it happened. So yeah, it's an to me the theater is an amazing place. It can be an amazing place. Unfortunately, like I said, there's a lot of people that just don't give a crap. You know, we were watching. This is kind of funny. I think I told this story before, but Across the Spider-Verse, there were two kids sitting next to my wife, and they were just talking. I mean, seriously, the first 5 minutes they're just talking. And she looks over and says something to him, and then I lean up and I look at him and I go, like all angry, and they just kind of look at me weird. And she goes, and my wife says, and I didn't hear her say this. She told me afterward. She goes, "Oh, well, I'll just tell your parents," and they just shut up and watched the movie. So it took that to get them to respect the fact that this is not your playhouse. You're in public, and you should act accordingly. You should act the way you would want people to act if this was a movie that you really wanted to see. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'll stop ranting on that, but yeah. Um yeah, I'm way behind. What should we name our son? Oh, I don't know. How about Guy? Hey, there's many famous guys. Sir Guy of Gisborne. Anybody? Anybody know who Sir Guy of Gisborne is? Um, Guy Fieri, or Fieri, as he says. I tried the breakfast burger a while back. It's pretty good. Man, I love that thing. I seriously could eat 12 of them on separate days because otherwise I would die. Yeah. Were they pissed about what became of the humans? He ripped that android's head with no with no hesitation. The head melting with the helmet scene. But dude, I love that movie. And so, I just love it. And I get people saying that they couldn't get, like Carbonite said, couldn't get through Covenant. I get it. I totally get it. I'm going to have to watch it again with different eyes because I have a crazy love for Ridley Scott Alien anything. So I really like Covenant, but I also understand that it's not a great movie. And there are also things in that movie that literally piss me off. Like I was actually pissed off when that happened in the movie, but I still appreciate Ridley Alien. I love his direction. It's weird. It's unrealistic. It's unrealistic to just about automatically love a movie before it starts. But it's like, oh my god, Ridley made a movie for me. That's kind of how it is for me. If he makes an Alien movie. And going back to the Fade Alvarez movie, the Alien movie that's done with production, the whole idea was that Wraith, you're still here, right? Fade Alvarez, who, you know what? I don't know what he's done. Let's see. Federico Alvarez. He did the 2013 Evil Dead. He did Don't Breathe, and he did The Girl in the Spider's Web in 2018. Um, he also directed part of From Dusk Till Dawn, the series. So I haven't seen a single thing that he's done. A single thing. But what happened was he was at a party, I think, with Ridley Scott. And somehow they got to talking about Alien. Probably Fade going, oh yeah, Alien was big and whatever. And he said something about, he basically pitched Ridley an idea for an Alien movie. And then Ridley called him up years later and said, hey, it's Ridley. Do you want to make that Alien movie? So there you go. That's how this movie, that's really all we know about it, which is kind of cool. I love not knowing what's going to happen and who's going to be in it or anything. So during Endgame, someone's girlfriend was asking questions the whole time, ruined it a little bit. Exactly. Whataburger in East Chase Parkway in Fort Worth. Not bad. Not a bad one. I used to eat at that one too. Dude, the one by me is awesome. So, during Endgame, someone's girl. Yeah. And Jack Reacher. It was one of the Jack Reacher movies, not the series. One of the movies. I guess it was the first one because I don't think I've seen the second one. But there was a lady. There was barely anybody in there, but there was an older lady, probably I don't know, 50s. But every time there was a punch, it was oh, ooh, ooh, oh, like reacting like okay, like I wanted to, lady, you realize this isn't real, right? This is just a movie. It's fake, you know. And those cartoon animals earlier, they weren't real either. Seriously, like what? Stop that. Anyway, I get you. I want to be able to get up or walk around or use my phone. That's why I don't go to the theater. There you go. See, me, it's I don't was it Hugo? I don't remember what movie it is, but there's a little kid in an audience and the camera like zooms in on him as, you got the bright the projector, right? And the kid's just like that as the camera pans in on him. That's me. I am literally that person. Not literally, but I'm very much that person. I get very excited when the lights go down. It's go time. And it's like, all right, what do you got? Let's do it. It's part of the reason why I tweet my tickets, or not tweet them, but I did, on Discord. I'm like, all right, here we go, because I'm excited, man. I'm excited, which is lessened by the fact that there are 20 minutes worth of trailers that I've already seen. And then reminders that, hey, watching a movie in the movie theater is better than watching it at home. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm here. You are literally advertising to the wrong person. This is stupid. This is going up to a BMW, a guy that owns a BMW, and say, you know what? You should buy a BMW. Yeah, I have one. Why are you wasting your time? Stop it. Anyway. Watching episode 1 in theaters and seeing Darth Maul remove his hood and wield his dual lightsaber was so awesome. Dude, there's so many. I'm serious. I've got countless moments like that. I just love the movie theater. I love that experience. Rock Lee Sensei, Guy Sensei. I forgot Covenant, but it was okay. Yeah, it's not great. I love the style of movie The Thing had in 1982. Of course. That movie is another one where I just the first time I watched it later, way later in life. Because I was only 6 when that movie came out. And for some reason I never went back to watch it. I finally watched it. And what was strange is because of the style of the movie, it actually made me feel like I was a kid watching it, and it felt like I shouldn't be watching this. You know what I mean? I don't know if anybody can relate to that. But for me, that's sometimes what happens when I see a new movie that's an old one. and it came out in my lifetime. It makes me feel like I shouldn't be watching this. This is this is one of them rated R movies. I'm only allowed to see PG movies, you know? Still haven't seen Prometheus or Covenant. Evil Dead remake and Don't Breathe were pretty good, I thought. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm so glad I saw The Crow in the theaters. I saw The Crow pretty sure opening night. That was one of the first. When did that come out? That came out in October. Wait a minute. When did that movie come out? Because I was already a fan. It says 1994. May 11th, 94. Okay. Interesting. So I guess I didn't buy the soundtrack until later. So I graduated in 94. But we went and watched it opening night. And then the soundtrack was like we had it in every time we had the sound and probably the tape, back then. We played it constantly. And I was already a fan of Nine Inch Nails, so maybe I think I became a super fan of Nine Inch Nails in October of 94 because that's when I went and saw them in concert. So best soundtrack I ever heard. It's a good one. It's a good one. There are some not great songs, but it's definitely a good. And do I have it? Hold on. Interesting. I don't have that CD. And I think it's because, I owned it for sure. I don't know if it's boxed up somewhere or if somebody borrowed it and I never replaced it because, this day everything's on the internet. I don't know. But yeah, Constant. I didn't get to see it in theaters since I was 4. Yeah, that movie's great. You have it on Laserdisc. Hazy, so how do you know Billy? I met Billy in right around this same time when I started working at Kroger in the summer of 94. Billy got hired on later. And so I was 18, he was 16, I think. And then I'm going to go through this quick because I've told this story a bunch. But a couple years later, I got the job in the same parking lot. There was a Blockbuster. I got the job at Blockbuster. And weeks later, Jay got hired. And then months after that, Billy came on board. So I met Billy before he met Jay, and I met Jay before he met Billy, which is weird. But yeah, I've known Billy since 94. Jeez, man, that's 30 years. Almost 30 years. I've known Jay since 97. So, yeah. So we've been friends for a very, very long time. Yeah. Labyrinth is a good soundtrack also. Now that one I have over there, which is weird. So I have that one on the shelf, but I don't have that one. The Lost Boys is good, but really only 4 songs I listen to over and over. The only one I remember is the sax dude. Oh, and Cry Little Sister. Yeah. But I remember sax guy. Um, strangely attractive sax guy, not sex guy, but saxophone. Anyway, yeah, Dazed and Confused. Yeah, absolutely, dude. The Pulp Fiction soundtrack. Yeah, I have multiple soundtracks over there. Actually, I have the Batman 1989 soundtrack because Prince. Enough said. I've got multiple Star Wars soundtracks. One, for some reason, I don't have Revenge of the Sith, but I have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. I have 7, 8, 9 digitally. The Labyrinth soundtrack. What's that one? Oh, the Fifth Element. Fifth Element soundtrack. That's cool to have friends that long. Oh yeah. Well, it's weird. It's Bubs. Welcome, Bubs. Happy 4th of July to you, sir. Um, it's going well. It's going well. It hadn't been that loud actually here. I was expecting seriously like I was expecting it to get funky in here. You know, my neighborhood usually is pretty freaking loud. Maybe they're waiting until midnight, which is annoying. Or because it's a Tuesday, maybe a lot of people are like, "Hey, kids, we can't do that this year because uh, people got to get up and go to work in the morning." Maybe that's why. But um but yeah, there's definitely some good soundtracks. Weekday fourth kind of tamer. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Best natural disaster movie. Hmm. Don't want to do that. Well, I would have. Wow, I don't like any of those. The only one I thought of, seriously, the only one that came to my head was Twister. And I, dude, I like Twister, but it's also dumb as hell because they should have died multiple times in that movie. And it kind of annoys me that, oh, Deepwater Horizon, that's not natural though. Dude, okay, some of these are stupid. How is Armageddon a natural disaster? I mean, I guess it is. The Happening, The Happening is not a natural disaster movie. Come on. Poseidon Adventure, never. I've never. It didn't do it for me. I watched it way back. How about Christmas Twister? Yeah, I don't like any of these movies. Not a big fan. Uh, but yeah, Twister is one of those that it's the only one that I can abide. You want those Zelda Joy Cons behind me? I need to jump on those before they get crazy expensive. I know. I know it. Billy told me that he wanted me, to buy them from me. And I told him, you keep your filthy mitts off my Skyward Sword Joy Cons for a game I didn't even like, which is why I didn't open them. I would have opened it if I liked the game. Turns out I don't like that game. It's one of very few Zelda games that I actively dislike. But 2012, yeah, I didn't like that one. Thought it was bad. Yeah, Twister has some good surround sound for sure. But I mean, come on. Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt, Philip Seymour Hoffman, of course. Alan Ruck, anyone? Yeah. Freaking Cameron from Ferris Bueller is in Twister. Rabbit is good. Rabbit is wise. Good movie. It's a good movie, but it's also dumb as hell. You know what I mean? The thing is, I'm just not a big fan of the natural disaster movies because they all are just kind of goofy and duh. Outbreak, Glenn Harris, welcome. Is Outbreak a natural disaster movie though? That's a man-made thing. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel the same. And Falcro is here too. God, what the hell's going on? Welcome everybody. Boogie Nights I rented from Blockbuster since I was too young to see it in theaters. And how'd that go? Heather Graham, am I right? Whoa. Deep Impact, the Point spinoff, Carbo, or the Astro. Wait, Deep Impact, the Point. Yeah, I never just not don't like. I'm just not a fan. The HD Switch version is better, but yeah, don't blame you. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just don't. I can't, man. I can't. I tried. I wanted to like it, but I hate the art style. The art style, because everybody's all, hey, I got a frozen face. It's like, stop. You're freaking me out. Oh, Ricky, come on. Too soon. It's not too soon, but that's just a, come on. Seymour Hoffman, and Philip Seymour Hoffman was awesome. Uh, do I stream games ever? Yeah, I have actually have streamed games in the last few weeks, but they're more recent games. I'm not Billy and Jay and uh, play games from my childhood. I usually play more recent games, but I'm actually I finished Tears of the Kingdom, loved it, and then started playing Diablo 4, and I want to throw it against the wall, and I'm very angry that I spent $100 on that game. So yeah, may not be streaming games for. I mean, until I find something new. I kind of want to try Final Fantasy 16, but I don't know if it's going to be for me. So I'm going to try to download the demo and try it out. I just don't know if it's going to be for me. But if it is, then I might stream that or something. But yeah, I stream more recent stuff, and I have some things that I could stream older stuff, but what happened in Diablo? I'll get into it just a second. Volcano. See, can't stand that one. Isn't that's the one with Tommy Lee Jones and Anne Heche, right? I don't like them. I just don't. I don't know. Watching Speed in the theaters was so good. Pop quiz, hot shot. What is the best action movie of the 90s? Is that from the 90s? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Holy crap, it is. Okay, that might be my choice. Uh, it kind of doesn't count as an action movie, but you know what? No, no, this is silly. This is silly. Silly. It's The Crow. It's The Crow. I was gonna say Blade. I was gonna say uh The Rock. But no, it's gotta be. That's the only other action movie. Yeah, it's gotta be The Rock. Or I mean The Crow. Um Boogie Nights wasn't what I expected, but in a good way, which Philip Seymour Hoffman was also in. Yep, great actor. Terminator 2. Okay. Wait a minute. You're right. You're right. Terminator 2 may beat The Crow. In fact, it does beat The Crow. You're right. I was just trying to think of. I was like, man, why am I having trouble thinking? Uh, I'll tell you. I'll talk about Diablo 4 in a second. Uh, Trust me, I will. Trust me. That scene in Volcano of how the dude died in the subway scarred me. I don't even remember the movie. I just remember not liking it. T2 is the greatest movie of all time. Yeah, Lethal Weapon 3. I mean, I like the Lethal Weapons, but yeah, I think Terminator 2 is, yeah. I just hadn't, for some reason, I didn't think of it. But that's definitely the best, absolutely the best action movie of the 90s. I don't think the only thing that comes close is, I mean, The Fugitive is good, but like I like Terminator 2, but I love The Crow, you know? The Crow is one of those movies that I watched. I watched that movie countless times. Um and then I watched Blade a lot too. But that was later in. I liked Rise of the Machines, Fight Me. No fighting here. I heard it went back to old school Diablo, shows what I know. Okay, so I was playing with a rogue. Okay, we're talking Diablo 4 for a second. The biggest problem to me is that I was a big fan. I've been playing since the beginning. Um, Diablo 2, like Diablo 1 was good. Diablo 2 was good. Sunk a ton of time in it. Diablo 3 was the one that I got addicted to. I loved that. I loved it. I bought it on PC slash Mac. I bought it on Switch. I bought it on PS4. I bought it digitally on PS5. I I bought that game so many times and sunk hundreds and hundreds of hours into Diablo 3. The problem with that I have with Diablo 4 is that you have to respec. Apparently, you have to respec to fight certain bosses, and the game feels a lot like okay, let's take Diablo gameplay, but let's mix in Elden Ring where you have to learn patterns and you constantly feel like you're underpowered and blah 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 blah. I hate that. I hate it so much. Like Diablo 3, the coolest thing about Diablo 3 is that as you leveled up and as you got stronger and stronger, the the earlier areas in the game you felt like a powerhouse. Here it feels like everything levels up with you in a way that isn't satisfying to go around and level up stuff because you're constantly kind of getting your ass beat. And maybe it's because I suck at the game, which I'm, hey, hands up, I might just suck at the game, okay? But for me, it doesn't feel like the previous Diablos. One of the things that I loved about the previous Diablos is that as you level up, you get all of the skills, right? And you get all of these, you get to try out what works best for your playstyle. So, for example, the sorceress in Diablo 3, you can run around and do, meteors, you can do, ice magic and whatever kind of magic you want to do. Or you can stick with, you know, more ranged attacks like the disintegrate in Diablo. But each one that I played, each character that I played, I got to basically sample what their character could do. With Diablo 4, it feels much more involved to change over to something else. And I can't stand that. I like the fact that Diablo 3's progression, you got to try out different things. With Diablo 4, it feels like work. And then on top of that, the bosses are I just don't like it. I don't like the way it plays. I got so frustrated that I quit playing for 2 days, started the game up, respect again, tried it, and immediately beat the boss and was like, "Oh, Okay, cool. I guess maybe this is my build. Went to the next part of the story and got destroyed again multiple times. And I put the controller down calmly and said, "Okay, Diablo 4 is just not for me." It's I don't like the way they said, "Okay, let's try to bring some Elden Ring elements to it where oh, there's multiple phases and a bunch of bullshit's going to hit you." And yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. It's not fun for me. So maybe I have to wait until they realize that the rogue is the rogue is basically what I wanted to play from the beginning. I tried the sorceress. I didn't like just the way the sorceress felt, so I was like, okay, like really early. So I went over to rogue immediately. Like the way the rogue plays, don't enjoy the gameplay. So we'll see. Maybe somewhere down the road they'll say, "Hey, the rogue is kind of underpowered," and then maybe I'll enjoy the game. For now, F that game. That's the way I look at it. So, but there you go. Uh, I never really considered The Crow an action movie. It's basically a revenge tale. I mean, sure, yeah, you could say, oh, it's a love story, but that movie is more. I mean, that's like saying Bram Stoker's Dracula is a romance. I mean, it is, but mainly it's a horror movie. Now, it may not fit all of the tropes that one of your typical horror movies are, but that's definitely a horror movie. It's bloody as shit. So, yeah. Rise of the Machines is a great action movie. It's just a horrible Terminator movie. I don't really remember it. I really want to see Rob play Elden Ring. No, you don't. Because here's the thing. I'm I don't enjoy tormenting games like that. I just don't. It's the same reason why like as soon as things got really difficult on certain games, depending on how it was playing, I'd basically say, "Yeah, this is not for me." I don't have the patience for that anymore. And I'm not going to sit there and try to get good. I'm not doing it. Balance your freaking game. Oh, it's easy on, when you use this character. I don't want to use that character. I want to use a rogue. And you're telling me with all this crap that I have, I'm over level 50. I've got all this really pretty good stuff. And you're telling me that no, I can't beat this. I got to freaking hop around and play hopscotch while I'm trying to. No, I'm not playing. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. And I'm not taking the time to learn it. No. Make me more powerful. Make me feel like I can actually do shit. And if you love Diablo and you say, hey, that's the greatest thing, man, Diablo 4 is the best one yet, more power to you. Not for me. It actually irritates me because it feels like they intentionally made it harder than it needs to be. And I'm not saying I want to walk through everything, but make me feel powerful. Make me feel like I'm actually doing shit. I mean, Ricky, you watched me the other night. I was not doing badly and still was getting my ass kicked no matter what I did. I don't know. I don't think I was doing badly. I wish they would do a Terminator trilogy that actually ends the story. I feel we're never going to see the end of Skynet. Meh. Yeah, I don't know. Well, that's the thing, right? It's an IP being controlled by a large, very large company. So, yeah, they will run it into the ground as long as people keep going to see it. And it's the same with everything. Everything. Dire with a Vengeance, Con Air, Mission Impossible, GoldenEye, Total Recall, True Lies, Heat. Heat's more of a drama, though. Desperado, good. The Matrix, that's more sci-fi. But I'd probably say Terminator 2. I'd probably have. I mean, look, I love a lot of those movies, but Terminator 2 is the gold standard. Just like, in my opinion, Die Hard is the best action movie, but that's it from '88. So notice that as I leveled up, the tier 1 enemies would also level up, which takes away that satisfying feeling of destroying them with one hit. Exactly. Why do I have to sit there and I don't know. I bought the Series X Diablo and still haven't unwrapped it yet. Maybe I'll wait a little longer. I mean, look, I don't want to turn you off from trying the game if you want to try the game. I mean, you already bought it. But at the same time, it's just it frustrates me, man. I the other thing is too, you have to understand. Take this with a grain, add this to these grains of salt to the maybe Rob's full of crap, okay? I'm not a huge gamer. So, those games that what are they called? Roguelites? Roguelikes? Roguelikes, right? That you have to die over and over to get to basically you have to die and die and die and die so you can power up and then die and die and die and so you can get to the next thing and then you get a little further and then you got to die and die and die. Yeah, screw those games. Nope. Nope. Don't want to play them. Don't like those kinds of games. I like games that actually make me feel like I'm progressing. Diablo 4 doesn't make me feel like I'm progressing. So, there you go. But I'm also a super casual too. I'm a very casual gamer. I would not call myself a real, I don't know where the line is, but I feel like I'm more casual than like, say, Billy or Jay or, most of you guys. Like Ricky. Holy crap. That dude's a gamer. I don't feel like I'm a gamer. I just don't want to buy the game and get bored with the gameplay a week into it. Multiplayer has ruined gaming experiences for me. Rachel, welcome. I'm sorry. I'm talking about stuff and that's what happens sometimes. The Crow is a goth death wish and I love it. I love The Crow, man, so much. I still love that movie. I watched it recently and was like, dude, this movie's good. It's a little like, holy crap. Some of the stuff they say in that movie is like, damn, that's vivid. But yeah. I can't remember. Okay, there's T-Bird. I can't remember all their names, the bad guys. But man, come on. That's yeah, it's a great movie. Going to pass on Diablo 4 then if it's anything similar to Elden Cochrane. Look, again, I don't want to turn anybody off on the game because there's a lot of people that love it, just absolutely love it. But for me, it's just the fact that I don't like that feeling of feeling weak. And then, I've got to try a bunch of crazy crap in order to get past this boss. No, screw that. Make me powerful enough to whip this dude's ass. That's the way that I look at it. They don't look at it that way. Holy crap, it's almost 11. I really like Terminator Salvation just because I always wanted a movie set during the war with the machines. Yeah, I liked parts of that too. In fact, all the ones that everybody says, that one sucks. I have found things that I like about even Genesis. I like parts of Genesis. I'm just saying it. If you saw how I played Elden Ring, then you'd probably be like, oh wow, this is easier than I thought. But see, that's the thing. There's these meta weapons that if I don't think you should have to look up a guide. Like all the respecking that I've done based on stuff I've seen on the internet, I never needed that for Diablo 3 to feel powerful. I never needed that. I didn't need to respec my entire character to beat a boss. Never had to do that. So there you go. Almost level 60 and still feel weak. Yeah. It's not for me. It's just not for me. Dude, level 60 Diablo 3 and I'm whooping ass. Now, of course, once you turn up the heat, when you get into the torments, then yeah, it gets tougher and tougher, and you have to grind. But that game is fun to grind. This one is not fun to grind. But see, even Diablo 3 has some bullshit too. You know, like every now and then there will be that one enemy that for whatever reason, when that, and not one enemy, but a style of enemy, like, oh, the ones with the big poison pools, right? Or the ones with lightning, or what, there would be one group of enemies that if you, oh, no, the arcane ones with the spinning uh things of death in Diablo 3. Yeah, and you get caught behind somebody and then you just sit there and take damage because you can't move and then you're dead. It's like, okay, come on, that was BS. I shouldn't have died there. That's the kind of stuff that, again, shouldn't be in the game. Like somebody was saying, who, I don't even know who I was watching, but somebody was saying, look, if it's not fun, why is it in the game? Why is it in the game? If it's not fun to play, then you should do things to make it fun to play. Anyway. I don't like when games scale with you because they fit you. Then you never feel like you get stronger. That was my issue with Final Fantasy VIII. Everything scales with you, so the difficulty never changed. Yeah, screw that. Oh my god, I'm so behind. Heat is such a good movie. Can you review that one? Oh yeah, it'd be good. I mean, oh, I have it right here. Bam. I just got it in 4K recently. It's a good. It is a good. Yeah, I've only liked one roguelike ever, Dead Cells. Yeah. I saw that it was roguelike and I'm like, I'm out. I'm not a gamer, I just kind of play sometimes. Oh yeah, okay, ROG ally. T2 is the king of 90s action movies, which is the king of 90s comedies. I say Dumb and Dumber. Yep, I don't think there's a better one than that. T-Bird Tintin, Skank, and Funbot. Top Dollar is the leader. Yep, there you go. I don't know if any comedy has ever or will ever compare to Dumb and Dumber. It's a good, man. It really is funny. Kind of sad James Cameron only going to be making Avatar movies for 25 years. I mean, you're not wrong. But I'm always one, I've said this before, but I think that it's kind of like how can I explain this? To me, it's kind of like when you do something at your job and you don't, there are other things about your job that you like more, but because you're good at that thing, it just gets, you're always the guy that they go to and say, hey, do this. And you're like, can't somebody else do it? And they're like, yeah, but you're the best at it. And you're like, okay. I want my directors happy. And I want them doing passion projects. And if that means it's going to be an Avatar movie, it's kind of how I feel about it. I get what you're saying, though. Because, yeah, I would have liked to see more Strange Days from him. Anybody see Strange Days? Yeah. Terminator Salvation was actually good. Salvation was not bad. Wraith and I request review of Heat. Pretty please. We live in Texas. We know Heat. Summer sucks. Glad we got Salvation fans in here. Yes. D3 will destroy you on higher torments. Oh, yeah. Freezing Bastards. See, it was always Arcane for me. It was the Arcane that always got me. The Arcane crap. Wait. Oh, wait. The hell? Also, the Treasure Goblin something. And it keeps freaking moving. Also, the Treasure Goblins are harder to kill in D4. Yeah, I've only seen one or two. And I think the first one I killed, and the second one got away from me. In fact, review your favorite movies of all time. You know what? That's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea to review some of those classic movies that I just love. And just say, hey, I'm reviewing this because I love it. Yeah. Was Christian Bale what killed the Terminator Salvation trilogy? I don't know. Scene where he realized he was the Terminator was awesome. Yeah. He'd inspire the North Hollywood bank robbery here next to me. Yeah, I know. That's some nut stuff for sure. Favorite Michael Mann movie is Collateral. Really? Where the hell did Neil Blomkamp go? He was on a hell of a roll than poof YouTube short films. I thought he had something recent or something coming out recently or soon. I mean, Blom. I'm looking. Oh yeah, he just made Gran Turismo. That's right. That's right. That's right. Uh, but he did Elysium. He did District 9. He did Chappie. So yeah. But look, guys, I'm losing vocals. I can feel it. So I'm gonna have to call it. But look, at least here we only have an hour left in July 4th. But I hope you guys had a great one. I hope you had a great and happy and safe one. I hope you, and thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. I honestly thought there's going to be nobody here tonight. Nobody here. Rachel, you can watch the replay. I talked a lot. But no, I really do appreciate you guys being here. It means a lot. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing that I get to do this. So, he's supposed to make a Halo movie like 10 years ago. Would have been awesome. Absolutely. And the Alien movie. It was an awesome stream, Rob. Well, thank you, Wraith. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. And yeah, we'll see you later and stuff. And things. I don't know what's coming, but hey, we'll do some stuff. But thank you guys. Bye.